it coming from Elizabeth's thing.
Can you guys hear it now?
Or turtles. I hear music.
Hooray! Can you hear me speaking?
Oh my gosh, I heard myself.
Yay! Okay, well, you might want to mute that or it's going to
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm glad it's working and that you can hear yourself and that you can hear the music and everything's coming together and I'm so happy.
I don't hear any music.
Are you watching the stream?
Oh no.
Yes, that's where the music is. How's the volume on everything, Amanda?
Oh, let me listen for a little bit because it is lagging behind a tiny bit.
I see Jay in the chat saying that he can hear people. This is like when you can hear the stage crew behind the curtain.
Alright, let's try to test where everybody sort of goes test or says something really silly. I don't know.
Test
something really silly.
Oh, very clever. Unique, New York. Unique, New York. What's the things that they say in musicals? Stage crew or the cast says to get warmed up. It's like
I don't know if I heard Jen yet.
Am I really quiet? Am I the one that's really quiet?
You're really
loud. There we go. I can hear you now.
Good.
Okay, but I have to leave that muted because otherwise I'm going to be hearing.
Let's just see if the VTuber works when the stream gets started. Oh, okay. You guys ready to see what a test of a VTuber looks like?
Oh, here we go.
Ta-da!
I'm excited.
Oh, it's very laggy.
Ooh.
Is it working?
That's awesome, Liz.
I made a VTuber of my Dungeons and Dragons characters. Is it moving though? Or is it really glitchy?
It's pretty slow.
Yeah.
It's lagging.
Slideshow.
You need a real computer to run that. You can't just use a laptop.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Testing
it's
sound.
Cute.
Wait.
Yeah.
Is it smoother now? It just needed to warm up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
It just needed to warm up.
She just needed to do some exercise.
Hey Liz.
Yeah?
Jay on your stream is saying that he can barely hear you.
Oh, I don't know how to fix that. Here, let me play with some settings. Is it because the music is too loud?
Let me check.
I hear you just fine on the. I hear you just fine on the stream.
On the stream?
Oh, I hear myself much better on the stream than I hear you. Liz, can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I muted the
we can hear
the other thing. So, I think you can increase the volume. Donic bots you. Yay! I think you can increase the sensitivity of your microphone, maybe.
Yeah, it's at its maximum, but I can decrease your sensitivity if that helps.
Take that.
Well, people need to hear me too.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear the DM.
Nobody wants to hear me. This is actually an experimental D&D campaign where everybody just closes their eyes and it's like a silent rave where everybody's listening to their own music. Everybody's just imagining their own campaign happening simultaneously.
I honestly feel like that would bring in the most views on Twitch.
Just 6 people sitting quietly. Every now and then somebody laughs and goes, "Hiya!"
Wait, So is there video going on right now or just audio?
Both.
Liz got
Video,
Oh,
both.
if you're watching the stream, Liz has her VTuber.
We're not on video.
Ooh.
Liz
No.
has her VTuber on.
No,
And she
we're
has
not.
Jig.
roll 20 up.
Yes.
So they could see roll 20 and hear us
Mhm.
speak and
Yeah.
sound like idiots.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, what more fun could there be?
Hi, Jay. Who's Jay?
Jay is a friend of ours from Akron.
Okay.
He was
He's the
actually
best.
in this
Hello,
campaign
Jay.
last season, so you might see his character. It's me, he says in the chat.
Mario? Mario's in the chat?
It's me.
Jay.
Mhm. Well, everybody's here. Liz, your sound check okay?
I don't know. I think this is the best I can do. I don't know if the sound. Oh, it still can't hear me. What if I eat my microphone? Is this better? Hello?
There you go. Just deep throat the microphone the
Very,
entire
very
time.
good.
Hello? Hello?
Jiminy.
Amanda goes, Jiminy. Much
That's my
better.
sister, dude.
Yes.
I have
That's
it
the
a little
most
closer to
important.
my face, and now my headphones are really sitting on my head very weirdly, but we'll make do.
Mhm. Oh my goodness. Well, we are all here.
Yay! Hi,
You
Lauren.
guys, are you guys ready to do this thing?
Yeah.
Hold on,
Ready
I'm getting
as
a
I'll
frozen
ever be.
margarita.
Oh shoot!
Why is that so liquidy?
A
Oh, man.
drink sounds so awesome right
When
now.
I take a drink of my drink, my VTuber makes a really weird face.
Oh my gosh! All right, guys, let's
Hey.
do this. Everybody pumped? I'm excited.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
It's
So
Tuesday.
it's Tuesday. I love Tuesdays, man. Well, welcome everyone to Creators of Aeonce, Season 2, where a group of brave souls have collided in an effort to make something magical out of an ordinary Tuesday. La la la.
La la la.
So here, this is our first session together. Some heroes returning, others are brand new to the effort. So for everybody, including those listening, I'll just give a quick background intel information, some important stuff that might help with the story as it progresses. So buckle up, we'll get through this. Aeonce is a wonderful world filled to the brim with magic, monsters, and mystery. It's a vast landscape of that is overrun with life, teeming with complexity, and treacherous to the ill-prepared. Its many kingdoms and cities are overpopulated and restless, a dangerous mixture born from a decade of peace and slow brewing conflict. What could possibly threaten the beauty of Aeonce? Well, the end of the world is nigh. A warning given to the Oracle, or given by the Oracle herself, disclosed to this ragtag group of heroes that creation is working backwards. The tools of creation, used by the creators, have run dry, and if not returned to the Temple of Firsts, darkness will consume all of Aeonce. Now, Aeonce has grown out of proportions and is choking on itself. Its resources limited, and without correction, everything will collapse. This closely kept secret has been but whispered to only those deemed essential by the Order. The rest of Aeonce lives in blissful ignorance. Each of the kingdoms that stretch over the conquered lands of civilization form one continent to the next, but have but one thing they must do: kneel before the empirical theocracy known as the Order. As the pinnacle of their religion, the pantheon known as the Creators rules the oracle named Shiva. Shiva is the only being amongst the material plane with the capability to commune directly with the Creators. The Creators are made up of 6 gods. There's Yatuk, the god of civilization and life; Gaia, the god of nature and beauty; Mu, the god of power and time, Mana, the god of weather and the oceans, Entir, the god of fire and passion, and Anima, the god of change and death. Since Shiva is the only one that can speak with them, that makes her every word a direct translation from the gods that shaped Aeonce. She delegates to the order their practices, laws, and the will of the creators when they impart it on her. The order disseminates this information across the lands, and the Justicars enforce it. From the jungles in the kingdom of Beiji, where the elves call home, to the rough plains in the kingdom of Medagareth, where the horned herds run rampant, the order brings civilization. From the chilled tundra of the kingdom of Barasuk, where orcs and dwarves carve away, to the islets of the kingdom of Anatols, where the spider and molefolk fish, the order brings safety and stability. From the booming economy of the kingdom of Kine, where the humans work hard, to the cold grasp for power in the kingdom of Hyperion, where humans train for battle, the order brings peace. Aeonce is left to its devices, much like they were before the order. The monarchies still claim their nobility, the towns still run their markets, and the farms till their land. So long as every knee bows to the orders, and every head bows in prayer to the creators. Civilization, safety, stability, and peace continue. And so it has for 10 years. But 5 months ago, last season of the creators of Aeonce, a group of individuals were brought together, summoned by the Oracle to be named Heroes of Aeonce. This title is meant to be an honor, but it also represents the Order's interpretation of these individuals' purpose for being alive. The Oracle hands them their destiny, and these six embark on the grave task to uncover the lost creator spheres. Do so, or die. That is the mark of a hero of Aeonce. The creator spheres are ancient relics of unparalleled power. There are six spheres: green, yellow, blue, red, black, and white. Each sphere represents a portion of all creation. It is thought the creators wielded these spheres like an artist used a paintbrush, and with the combination of all six, all life was put in motion. It is the very same thought that makes interfering with the creator spheres a blasphemous act, one that is punishable by death. As surprising as it is, the Oracle grants these heroes permission, stating that it is a matter of life or death for all of Aeonce. So put to this task, the heroes of Aeonce get to work over with very little direction. They are briefed with a small lead. Apparently, while these spheres have never been seen, there are lesser relics that may guide them towards it. Sure enough, the heroes find such a device called the Jungle Heart, which acts as a compass, leading them to the Green Creator Sphere. Along the way, the heroes face many challenges, one being a faction that is quickly growing in power, known as the Dark Hand. From what they have gathered, the Dark Hand makes up an accumulation of multiple cults, dungeons of beasts, and lesser races deemed unworthy or evil in the eyes of the Order. Centuries of oppression has finally bottled up, leading them to rise against the Order in a way no one else has since the Undead Wars 10 years prior. Caught in the middle, the heroes find themselves a target of the Dark Hand as they too seek to wield the Creator Spheres. The heroes thwart multiple attempts on their lives, and in doing so gain boons and knowledge against this faction, some of which reveal that high king members of society are also playing a part in the Dark Hand. With this information, tension continues to rise in Aeonce. At last, the crossing of two countries, the players locate an ancient temple made by the cultures that predate anything they'd ever seen, and they come across a primordial predator named Shalaloon, who is defending the green sphere. They have a conversation with him that shakes most of what they understand, the rules of Aeonce and what history has taught them. But to get to him, they fought through a trial of wisdom, a trial of valor, and a trial of heart. The final Completing the trial of heart allows for one's soul to be consumed in order to grant a single wish, a wish of any kind that they could want. And using this wish, they were going to call upon the Green Creator Sphere. But before this could happen, their friend Arungail, who was consumed in order to make this wish happen, wished instead that the White Creator Sphere be put in Arachron's possession. At the same time, this wish is granted Arachron, a rogue among the heroes of Aeonce, steals the Green Creator Sphere from the Dearth Cranialisk. His interaction with the sphere seems to instantly destroy his physical form, and instead he takes the shape of a massive tree that rapidly grows around the godly serpent, grappling it and binding him away in a magical prison. All of the all at the expense of both Arachron and Arungail. The heroes of Aeonce now have the green sphere in hand. Days later, they are quickly swept up by the Order and brought back to the place where it all started, within the palace of the Kingdom of Kine. The Green Creator Sphere is now safely tucked away in the possession of the Oracle, and to celebrate, the heroes are being thrown a party in their honor. So all of you, yeah, it's time to party, yo. You guys, we fought that for I don't know how many years it took.
7. I've been on this
A
campaign for
million years.
7 years.
Well, but that's different. It didn't take 7 years to do it. So, Heroes of Aeonce, we start here in the Kingdom of Kine, the central metropolis of society, home to the Order, the Hall of Heroes, and sanctified Arc Temple to Yutuk. In the high towers of King Striker III's palace, all manner of music, dance, and dining unfolds before you. Kine's elite have gathered to celebrate you, and among them are many familiar faces. You are quickly greeted with a trio of trumpets as the entryway and a servant announces, "The heroes of Aeonce! Lady Nairobi Loftus, Sir Hero Castiel, Mr. Arden Axling, and Madame Mitmeyer."
What?
The three of you enter into or pass through an archway as you enter. So we start with you entering first. Nairobi, could you please describe your character as you enter into the party scene?
Okay. Hold on, let me eat my microphone so you can hear me better. Nairobi is a human. She's very pale features, so pale skin and long pale blonde hair with a little bit of pink streaks in it. She's got a lot of hair jewelry going on and like a lot of jewelry all over, really. She has like these teal blue eyes and a long teal dress that's kind of like an owl dye that's a Taiwanese dress, and she has these crazy hands that are sort of tucked under really long sleeves, long flowy sleeves, so you might not be able to really see it. And she has like a little half cape that covers one of her arms. So she has like one arm that's in a really long flowy sleeve, and the other arm with a kind of gnarly, mangly hand is underneath a half cape. Actually, I can show you a picture that was
I guess.
created by. Oh, you have it? You gonna put it up? It's so
Yeah.
tiny. Look at it.
Well, it's an icon right now.
Whoa. Oh my gosh. The resolution
tried-
is terrible. Oh, there it
I
goes.
tried zooming in and then
Give it a second. The resolution will fix itself.
Yeah, so this
Where's
was
it
made.
at? I don't see it.
Oh, it's on the stream. It's also
I see it
on
on
the roll 20.
too.
I was gonna say, Wolf, if you're on roll 20, you should see it.
Are you on the wrong? Is he in the thing?
I'm on roll
Yeah,
20
he's
looking
here.
at the Kingdom of Kine.
Huh.
How come
Yes.
he
Wonder why you
doesn't
can't
see
see
the
it. I can see it
picture?
just fine.
I see it.
There is no way you don't see the whole screen is in my room.
Zoomed all the way out. Where you at? Who's clicking?
You don't
Okay.
see.
No, I don't see it.
That's weird.
Maybe you should reload.
Yeah, maybe a refresh.
I'm gonna say yeah, please, because I should
I'm
be the
part of
one that.
I'm getting the chat updates and everything. I'm chatting with people. But I see nothing on the map. I see people
Oh.
clicking.
Did you
It
refresh?
might
Refreshing
be
right
a
now.
permission thing. But yeah, this
No.
picture was drawn by my sister who is joining the season 2. I guess her character's name is Clearin. I saw her type on the right side. But
See her.
Reckoning Bells is how you can find her on DeviantArt. So this is a picture that she drew of my character.
Ooh.
Roll 20.
Very nice.
Thanks for the shout out.
No, thank you for doing it.
All right. So Naomi, you as you enter the room, you quickly follow to Castiel, hero Castiel behind you. Castiel, go ahead and describe your character.
Standing before you is Castiel, son of Zuriel and Layla, hero of Aeonce and hero of the Order. He's a tall, very handsome celestial with skin that looks like pale gold, silver lips, gray eyes, and shocking platinum hair, cut high and tight military fashion. Over both of his ears, there's a longer lock of hair. Then in that lock of hair is braided 6 beads, 3 on each side, representing the creators. One bead is larger than the rest, the white bead representing Yatuk. He's dressed in very fine clothing, obviously of high birth, and around his neck, kind of like a stole you see in religious vestments, but reversed over, so the longer tails of it go behind his back. Along that stole, the blue stole, is several runes that start out with one big in the center and then slowly multiplying out with more and more runes as it goes back behind over his shoulders. Oh, and one of his hands, you can see, is kind of mottled with gray, almost like stone petrified in his skin. Other than that, very handsome features.
Yes. Your newly gained blemish.
Oh, and one important feature I forgot: semicircular golden halo stands above his head with 6 spikes coming out from the halo.
Yes,
Castiel.
Castiel represents.
Yeah.
Yes, he's always had a halo. The Castiel represents a race very fond and familiar in all of Aeonce, the top tier of all the races, angelic-like creatures who rule in a floating continent called Sigtasplin. Most of the highest elites of the order are all run by Celestials. So Castile is one of them, and a very noble one at that, with his family ranking. And then following him, the hero of Aeonce, Arden Axwing, who is accompanied by his date, following him from Hisaka, Madame Mitmeyer. So Arden Axwing, you may describe yourself.
All right. Well, Arden walks in. He's a tall orc, about 6'6". He has bright green skin, um, short, short black hair. It's sort of messy. Um, I think he's relatively young um, for an orc. He's a he's got orc tusks and then scars on his arms and some on his chest from juggling. So he's a juggler extraordinaire, um, and I can kind of guess that by well, you might be able to guess by all the different axes he's carrying. There's eight
You
or
bring them all
so.
to the party.
I think I would.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
Don't
I
call
like
him
juggling.
Axling for nothing.
Yeah.
you are not the only armed person at this party, even though it is the elites. There, quite a lot of people stay pretty close to their weapons, so it is not unheard of. Was
Oh,
that all? So
clothes. So I don't normally he doesn't wear anything fancy, just like a red vest and pants. But for the party, I think he did get fancy uh, a hat.
Mm-hmm.
Your top
You
hat?
have a hat.
Yeah, so I'd button my vest up, and then I got my ringmaster's hat and scepter that I rightfully won by killing the guy that.
Uh, yes. It's very clear you're wearing somebody else's outfit, as it doesn't seem like it's tailored for your physique. But that is what he's wearing because he's pretty sure that's what he's supposed to wear to an event like this. And Madam Mitmeyer probably would have given you a few pointers and tried to polish this up a bit, but you are wearing a ringmaster's outfit that is made for somebody maybe 100 pounds less than you. So, is what you're wearing to this party. But with you, Madame Mitmeyer has asked to be your plus one, and she enters, linking arms with you. She is dressed in her finest gown, a deep V-cut red velvet halter top and multi-tier bushy ball gown. A white fluffy seeps out from the bottom and twirls with her every move. She has a black bows topping her fox fur wings, and resting atop her voluminous red curls is her iconic ring mistress top hat. She gives a low curtsy at the mention of her name and follows Arden Axwing arm into the party, or by arm into the party.
Do you have a picture you can share of her?
I do. I do. Where? Yes, my NPCs. Madam Mitmeyer is, if I click this, it shows to everybody right now, correct? Does everybody see? Did it show up?
No.
Yeah.
I see it.
Okay. So
Oh,
for
no.
new,
Now I'm seeing things.
oh goodness. Well,
But
so
I see your stuff.
yeah, you already own her, so you should be able to see. So Madam Mitmeyer is also a celestial, but she is a very different breed from the angelic light look like for that Castiel has. She too has wings, and she keeps her halo tucked underneath that top hat of hers. She has come as your plus one. So as the three of you enter, plus Madame Mitmeyer, you are all met with waves of congratulations and great jobs from all the bystanders and the people who have already accumulated in the party. They swarm you upon entering. Hands are being shaken, and more names than you can understand are being thrown in your face. After a few minutes of this, you break free and are handed glasses of wine atop platters from servants. The room is yours. What do the three of you do? There's music in a ballroom, a lot of dancing, mostly line dances of sorts. A very nice bar that kind of stretches the back wall. Layers of drinks upon shelves. A lot of people working, servants moving throughout the room with the various dishes and different drinks. Go from side to side, stopping at groups. There's lots of pockets and circles of conversation that fill the space. A stairwell that reaches around the ballroom, kind of along the perimeter. This is all built in a series of large towers. The two stairwells are along the peripheral of the building, the ballroom, I guess, lead up to an archway where you can see King Striker is having a conversation. The Shiva is also at the party. She's up there speaking to them. Um, Mostly, you guys don't really see, other than those two, anybody you immediately know. There's a lot happening. Anything in particular?
Is there a table set up for us, or
Doesn't look like there's kind of like stools, and then maybe along the outskirts in smaller dome-shaped rooms that break off the ballroom, there are dining spaces. This is more of like lounge areas with tables, short tables set up, places for drinks and dishes to be set. Nothing that immediately says this is where you should go or where you're expected to be.
Okay.
It definitely seems like everybody else at the party is used to these kind of affairs. There seems to be a flow in nature to the way that people are circling and conversing and greeting one another. Very strange to most of you. Castiel, you might have been to a few of these parties at a younger age, but probably still not too involved in this part of it.
I'm just gonna go and mingle around, try and fit in with the rhythm of the party.
Okay. Do you guys stick together or splitting apart?
No, I'll stick with us. With the group.
Okay. So the three of you guys kind of spread out and begin mingling. Um, okay, I see that Marcus is typing something.
He says, I'm
So
working on
Marcus,
rebuilding my laptop. Bass be thumping bum bum. Unce, unce, unce. Okay, is the music too loud? I'll turn it down.
No, no, I can't. I was just going off of what you said.
oh, but are you still here, Donak?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I was reading this as if you were saying like you had to step away for a second. Okay.
No, no, no,
I
no, no. My internet, my computer, and everything just decided it didn't want to work at once. So I've been on the chat or the Discord the whole time. I can hear you all because I'm on my cell phone. I just switched over to cellular. But my Wi-Fi was acting weird. My computer was acting weird and saying there's
okay.
firewalls on roll 20 and wouldn't let me. Yeah. And it said it's
Well,
subjected to IP addresses, which is because I have a recovery drive connected to my computer right now as I'm trying to swap out hard drives and all this fun jazz. So
Right.
always a
yeah.
good time. Always a good time. Well, since you can still hear me, you don't really need to
Well, I'm
make
in
a.
roll 20. Everything's up and good now.
That is even better. So, Marcus, as the you hear the chimes, the heroes have now entered and they begin mingling, but doesn't necessarily all mean a lot to you. You're standing amongst a few other younger individuals, young aspiring adults, who all seem a bit nervous. In front of you all, a plump and balding male gnome slurps his glass of wine and quickly snags another before a servant can pass him by. He's dressed in a blue pinstripe suit, long hooked brown boots, and has a brightly polished golden pin on his lapel of a fully bloomed lotus. He slurps down the second wine, clears off his monocle, and then turns to the row of lost little duckies behind him. Tonight, the golden lotus gives you a taste of the finer things. This is just one of the many perks we have to offer our guild members. So tomorrow, we'll talk more about those business contracts. Tonight, I want you to indulge yourself. The eyes of your recently met peers pop from their skulls. For many of them, this is the fanciest thing any of them have ever seen, and for good reason. It doesn't get much fancier than a party thrown by King Stricker III. You only met him this morning, but Mr. Tweeb Frickledoot was your liaison with the Golden Lotus Merchant Guild. You were summoned to the guild by letter, stating they had a life-changing proposition to make you. The little gnome looked pleased with turning you all loose and began to hunt for another glass of wine. So at this point, Marcus, will you describe your character for me?
Yeah. So Marcus is a human, 6'2". Oh, I'm forgetting already. So blonde hair. Forget my eye color. Why do I forget my eye color?
I
Can
got
you
it.
remind me? Can you remind
I
me,
got
sir?
you.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, I thought he was a literal airplane.
No. Yes, I'm the airplane. So I am a son of a merchant. I am part
Define
of it.
myself.
I am part of a merchant guild, or part of a merchant company, family ran for many generations. My father, Marcus Rutherford II, currently head of the Rutherford Trading Company, and I have been sent along via the request of the letter because my father is in great need of me to take over the business. I'm 22 of age, or was I 22, 21? I can't remember now.
Up to
It's been
you.
a hot minute. Yeah, so I'm roughly 21 years old, at the age in which a man should take over the family business. But yeah, I'm not interested at all. I'd love to pass it on to my sister. I have other desires in my heart, but neither here nor there. But yeah, I'm 6'2", well built. I look as though I belong in the wealthy environment, but also belong on a dock working. My father believed in hard labor, so I also would help move shipments and things of that nature and run the dock for him, load ships and cargo. And I also have my trusty friend Took, who is a steel defender. He goes everywhere with me. He is 7'6", giant steel golem.
It's a big old guy standing next to you.
His best way to describe his personality is the robot from Big Hero 6. Very friendly, very curious.
Oh, very inflatable.
Just,
Except for
just
not inflatable.
being turned being turned loose to the party ahead, you're kind of a little more comfortable.
Does he have airbags?
Uh-oh. What's happening with the audio?
He does not have airbags.
That's quite solid as
Uh-oh.
So he is an airbag.
Did the audio get weird in the chat?
uh, there's no bad steamwork. Such a creature with gears and metal parts, shaped somewhat to look like a human. This is different. Together that seem to move in very strange ways. Being released and open to the party took is very much out of place, and he just kind of gives you a worried toot as he looks over at you, or looks over and down at you. So, the Mr. Tweep has just kind of let you guys to your devices. Most of the peers that you showed up with have all spread out and are attempting to get their own hands on drinks and food and just joining the livelihood of the party. That leaves you standing there with Took. Um, what do you do?
So go ahead and calm down, buddy. It's going to be all right. Let's go looking for the contact that they told us about. You may have some parts that would be good for you.
Uh, yes, you spoke a little bit about that. That's right. You're the Rockford boy. Mr. Ferkledude had snagged yet another glass of wine and looks up over at you, nearly running into the giant machine standing next to you. You have the knack for old things, kind of says with eyes squinting at Took. That's another pleasure of clocking into the big city. Here in Kine, you always know a guy. Follow me.
Thanks. Come on, Chuck, let's go.
Mr. Ferkledude skitters across the floor. He is surprisingly fast for his size, and somehow has the good sense of where he is going, even though there is no chance he could see around all of the flowing ball gowns. After a moment of getting stuck in the center of the dance floor, Tweed quickly ascends Took, standing on his shoulders like a fence post. His eyes dart around the room, and almost as fast as he got up, he was down again and across the room. You struggle to keep up with him, but most people, as they hear the thud, thud, thud of Took approaching, kind of give him a wide girth, and the two of you can easily pass through. And you find that Mr. Tweeb is now standing at the foot and looking up at a stranger. Hopefully, this is the contact he spoke of. You guys get there, and just about the same time you get up to this contact, another trio of trumpets blast for attention. The servant standing in the entryway harks. Lady Clyron, Firefox Hild the Fifth of the Firefox Academy, or Academic Library and Collection, and Lady Clyron Firefox Hild the Seventh. Uh, Clyron, as you and the other Clyron enter, please
Would I
describe
know
yourselves.
that name?
You can make a history check.
A history check?
Yes, because of the trumpets, everybody kind of pays a bit of attention and gives you all a chance.
Oh, sure. I'm sorry. I forgot to say my monkey is with me.
Oh, you brought your monkey? Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
he's just chilling on my shoulder, Monty.
Okay, as long as he's chilling, because if he's like a twitchy guy, it might be a problem. There's plenty of other people with familiars and other small pets. That seems to be very normal in Aeonce. It's quite often people have pets or familiars along with them because magic is a very normal thing in Aeonce. So you are not the only pet and probably not the only monkey here in the party right now. Little Monty's with you. So, Clyron,
Okay.
Naomi, you have no idea. You don't read enough.
Yeah. I didn't know if I would know her from like Hyperion or my family stuff.
Nope. Your dad might know, but you didn't. It wasn't important to you. You didn't pay attention.
Is that straight
Um,
word of Castiel?
Nairobi's focused on something else right now.
Castiel, you probably have heard the library and the collection. And the name kind of rings a bell, but beyond that, you're not sure the significance or importance. It's just kind of like, oh, this is. It's like you finally get to put a name to the face. Or I'm sorry, a face to the name. So, Clyron, please describe yourselves.
So Clarin the Fifth, she's obviously older than Clarin the Seventh, and she's also about a foot taller. Um, Both of them have long black hair and are actually dressed fairly simply, except that I would say Clarin the Fifth would be dressing a little more smartly, maybe have a shine to her gown, whereas Clarin the Seventh has a very plain gray dress and a white apron. And she also has a small homunculus servant um, that is robotic sitting on her shoulder. The other very noticeable thing uh, about Clarion the Seventh is that she has blue feathers poking out of her hair, whereas the fifth does not. And Clarion the Seventh is really short in comparison, like really, really short.
Wait, so which one's the older sister?
But
The older
they're
sister.
not sisters.
Oh,
One is much older.
I see.
The fifth would be your
Clarion the Fifth is
seventh.
much older than Clarion the Seventh.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually, like suffixes like fifth and sixth.
Yeah.
Sort of denotes
Look,
like
it's been a long day, okay?
parentage and not.
I get,
sisterhood.
yeah.
Just calling out.
Well, there might be a lot of sisters who might name
I'm
the same
just gonna leave.
Hey,
Goodbye.
it's a
We'll
big
get George
Kentucky,
Farm.
okay, people?
Ugh.
This could totally been a George Foreman.
Clarion the Fifth looks much sort of more comfortable in the space, whereas Clarion the Seventh looks incredibly uncomfortable and not really wanting to be there. So yeah, that's my explanation for them.
The two of you enter, and as you do, ahead of you, the same as the other descriptions, the party, which has been going on for some time now. Um, all ahead of you, the fifth looks to you, looks around, more intrigued. Definitely has a sense like she's on a mission. She's not here for pleasure. She's got
Mhm.
something to do. And with kind of a
We both
stern
had something here to do.
a stern point of her nose, she begins to step into the group or into the party. And as you guys are kind of introduced, much of the room hushes the mention of these names. A pair of order clergy priests, dressed in matching white robes adorned with colored tassels of the six creators, approach the two of you and quickly perform the creator's prayer. This is a gesture of greeting and a sign of honor shared all throughout Aeonce. The priests hold both hands outward and then move their hands inward, about at their chest, and make an eclipse, like an eye, at the center of their chest using the palms of both hands. And then with that shape, they bow slowly at their waist. Both priests are dragoons, just kind of green, scaly, little spiky guys. Don't look very old. Kind of the kind that are sent to do lackey jobs or to meet people at parties and take them where they're meant to go. So they bow, and as they come up, Lady Clyron, Vi Foxchild, we have been sent, or we have been waiting for your arrival. Master Midas, hero of Aeonce, is greatly anticipating your arrival. We'll take you to him now. So the two priests turn and begin to cross the room to one of the outer lounges off the main ballroom. You guys follow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, am I talking for the fifth?
No. I'll I'll speak for the fifth.
Okay.
She
When
she
you when you
says
say
Wait, the
you
nothing.
fifth?
guys, sir, are you referring to me?
I am not. You are still standing amongst eager to speak to the contact while this is happening. Just
Okay.
before you could speak to the contact, the trumpets went off. So right now I'm with Clyron. I'll come back to you for your conversation with the contact.
All right.
So yeah,
I'm
you're
just
standing
making sure we're on
amongst.
the same page.
Yeah, yeah. This is kind of all happening simultaneous. So I only have one mouth. I can only describe one thing at a time. So
That's too
bear with
fast.
me when it's. I know, right? Oh man, I just love to be able to talk six different ways at the same time. That actually sounds awful. Oh god.
Yeah.
That's
It's okay.
You can
um.
do it, dude.
So
Believe in yourself.
the fifth, very much to that mission is at the heels of these priests, following closely behind them
I'm at
to
her
their
heels.
destination. Just nice little row walking on their way, sitting in a
I'm at
corner
her
chair.
little duckling.
No, you are. I didn't expect you to be so small. So you're smaller than her then. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm really
That's right.
small.
I know why you're small. Sitting in a corner chair and laughing over his two children reenacting a battle against a terrible lich. It's just like this overly dramatic. One of the kids is wearing like a rolled blanket from one of the couches over their head, and just like, "Wah!" And the son is wielding maybe like a table knife and swinging at the cloth drapes child. The both of them are supposedly reenacting a battle against a terrible lich named Nagan Shi. Um, and across from them is a tall, handsomely muscular and chiseled hero type. He is wearing a more relaxed version of his solid armor, fitted better with lavished silks and leather to piece together his fine evening suit. A spiked bed of blonde hair bobs to one side as the holy knight turns to notice your arrival. He shoots to his feet and crosses all in one motion into a bow. There is a radiance about him that glows with each step, and now that he is standing, you can make out thick white angelic wings tucked at his sides. Midas is also a celestial. He does not leave the bow until he kisses the tops of your grandmother's hand. It is a pleasure. You could join us, madam. You hardly look a day older than 300. He winks at her. And this is a treat. He turns to look at you. Is this your sister? He holds out his hand to shake yours.
Rude.
Uh, I don't shake it. Instead, I curtsy and I say, "It's a pleasure."
Okay.
Uh,
So,
yeah.
and as you curtsy, yeah, his hands just kind of there, and he waits, and he does like a little nod as you curtsy. He's
With a
like,
name
"Oh,
like
okay,
with a name like Midas, she might be worried she's gonna turn to gold.
maybe." He is very golden, that's for sure. So with your curtsy, the fifth looks over at Midas and says, "This is my granddaughter, Lady Claren yes, Lady Claren Viafox Hild the Seventh. Well, it is a pleasure
Version
to."
one.
Oh, oh, version.
I
Midas is
interject.
like he
I
like looks at
interjected.
your. He like looks at the fifth and looks back at you like, okay, this is a you thing. I'm gonna let it be. Um, he says, "Well, it is a pleasure to meet you as well, Lady Clyron Via Fox Hild, the seventh version one." He like nods as if like
Yes,
nods to you, like, did he
correct.
get it right?
She's a
Well, good.
clone.
I'm very
I
pleased.
I am Midas. And he does like a big old hero pose, pounding his chest, his fist in his chest. He turns again to your grandmother. "You have no idea how much this means to the order. I'm sure you and your family are aware of the circumstances we are in." He kind of looks on ahead. You notice now he's looking over your grandmother's shoulders. And just because you are just this wallflower who notices everything, you notice he is now
Yeah.
motioning to somebody with a nod and see behind her a few Justicars disappear into a room behind the lounge. He looks back at your grandmother.
Mm.
"We are running a brief for the heroes of Aeonce in the morning. Would you be able to update us then?" And your grandmother looks down at you and then back at her. Back at Midas, and she says, "I can do you one better. My granddaughter, she's as cunning as any. It would mean a great deal to me if you put her in charge of this. This isn't just the order's circumstances, you know. The rest of us have a stake in the outcome." "What? This one?"
I would be happy to
Midas like
serve.
points down at you. "Oh, okay. So you're gonna be sticking around?" He like has this big
uh,
question on his face.
yes. I look really offended.
Uh,
Yes.
your grandma is, she kind of gets what he's getting at, and she's just like, more or less. That's the idea, at least. And he goes, "Ha! Oh, you scare easy?" He leans over you.
And not typically.
"We'll do." "Oh, well, okay. It is an interesting thing, Lady Clyron via Fox Hild, the seventh version one. It just so happens that there is
Correct.
a vacancy open. I'm getting better at it. Names. Yeah, I see a lot of them every day. It just so
Boop.
happens that there is a vacancy open, and the heroes of Aeonce are hiring consultants. What a coincidence!" And your grandmother, she like clicks her tongue. There's no such thing. And she kind of wags a finger. "Isn't there though? Like this one here." And Midas motions to the pair of Justicars that are now lugging in a large, darkly colored, shattered opal loot. The shattered part, mean it's not broken, but the pieces seem to be polished. The cracks that are in it seem to be polished together with this opal filling between the pieces. You were just leaving, and here we have it: the cursed and bound soul of Diphetia in the haunted loot. A wonderful addition to your collection, I believe. The rest of you,
You were
wherever
paid for
you may
this, I
be,
take it. I'm looking at my grandma.
this this is the payment. we're here, aren't we? They paid for us to show up. Kind of. She's very pleased with herself to see this piece of art ahead of her. The rest of you,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to give me a perception roll on this, Castiel, you are now fully in party mode. You are having a good time. So many people. You've been starved for this. You have not seen a party, and I don't even know how long you were stuck in that Hodok. Siege on Donvi.
A long time.
Long enough. Arden, are you present? Are you? Did he come back yet? I know he said he had. Marcus got a. My goodness.
Very
You
nice.
rolled.
You
Oh my
rolled
gosh.
2 2. At least it was 2 2s with a
Oh,
-1.
Right.
and not two ones.
It's an unnatural ones. Marcus, you are so into this guy. You're just ready to hear about the info
Oof.
from your contacts.
That's
Well,
right.
I guess he's still stepped out. He
No,
said that
I'm back in here.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. So make a perception for me, as there is a trade-off going on in the party here. Okay, so 15. So Nairomi and Arden, as the two of you are kind of like Nairomi, you probably notice it first, and you kind of bump Arden over and point over. You see Midas is now talking to those Clyrans that you didn't really think too much of or know much about.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice this is the loot, the same one that Roman had taken from the dragon's lair. Arden, you had seen Roman play this once. And you can kind of overhear a bit of the conversation that's happening. Midas seems to be giving it away to these Clyrans and are going to add it to their museum of sorts.
Hmm.
So the fifth, she kind of nods as she takes it in both hands, and here it is. She looks down at you, granddaughter. I have to get this back to the library. You understand? Everything
Of
you
course.
need is at
Of course, grandmother, I do.
mhm. Everything you need is at your fingertips. Remember who you are. I'll be in touch. She pulls you into a bit of a hug, kind of like one-armed because this is not a small loot. I'm already so
I do an awkward pat.
I'm so proud of you already, but you make those old hags eat their words. She kind of snickers a little to you.
I will, grandmother. Thank you.
You prove them all wrong. And
Grandma.
with the loot in hand, and with the loot in hand, and a wave of her hand, she drops from existence through a purple swirl of magic beneath her, and she is gone. There's kind of a moment.
What?
Midas seems to be doing math in his head,
Yeah,
and then
same.
Byron. He like snaps back into party mode. He's like, "Come, Byron. I want to introduce you to the heroes of Aeonce."
All right.
Do
So he
do we
quickly
hear him
starts.
say that?
Yes, he's
Uh,
loud. Midas is hardly ever quiet. He doesn't have to be. He commands a room when he talks.
What would I know of
So
Midas?
you would know Midas. Oh, here we go. I have one of these. Do do do. Where is this? So I've mentioned Midas, and for everybody, did that show for everybody? It like shows for 50% of you, and I never know who.
not
I just
me. Oh,
added
there
it
it
to your
is.
journal.
Oh, he's handsome.
Sparkly boy.
He's the sparkliest of boys. He's your
I
cliche
could beat him
sparkly
up.
boy.
I could beat him up.
Oh man, I'm loving this already. Why don't you give that a try? Oh goodness. So Quintetta, are you there?
Yes,
Hello?
I'm here. Sorry. Yes, I was on mute because
You,
I keep coughing. I'm here.
no, you're fine. Um, you suddenly from your place sitting at the edge of a fountain, you hear a scuttle approach you and hear the familiar words, my condolences. Miss Rainfield. A polished set of iron armor comes to attention in front of you. A six-stranded cape, each strand a different color, flaps with the movements of the man's bow. He performs the Creator's Prayer and adds, "All praise be to the Creators." The Jiskar stands up from his bow. You don't recognize him. Just another one of the hundreds of soldiers who have worked up the nerve to share how sorry they feel for you.
Am I supposed to introduce my character now to everybody?
Moment. You're not there yet. Yeah, you could. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Well, I mean, I
This
can
guy,
wait.
this guy's just like stands in front of you and he just says, "My condolences," and then does a prayer. But yes, this would be um this would be a time you can describe yourself now, as you are now in scene. Oh, Clarence's been big this whole time. I'm so sorry.
Do you have a picture of my character?
I'm big.
I have the one oh my god, I've just ruined you. Okay, here.
Um.
Yes.
So so my character, she is 5'8", very thin. She's not muscular built, but her muscles are very toned still. She right now is in all black. Everyone else is in colors around her, but she is all black. Now she does have gold on her dress, and she does have some deep red maroon around in parts of her dress. She does have some gold necklaces that hang off of her. She wears a nice, very long black cape that has gold all around the trim of her. She has very icy blue eyes. But for right now, because she is outdoors, she probably still has her cape up. Peeking right underneath her cape is this almost like this necklace headset that she wears that has a black bead that sits in the center of her forehead. Is this fountain outside for her or is it inside?
So in kind of the way this the ballroom works is like the center of a circular tower. It has lots of little towers that jet off and build up. Some of these towers make those like cutaway lounge areas. Particularly one of the ones where Clyron was just sitting and with Midas and talking.
Oh,
In
okay.
between, a part of opposite of the stairwell, there's an archway that leads to a balcony um, overlooking the city. Uh, so it's a bit of like a garden. There's a fountain there. This balcony space is yes technically outside, but it's kind of like an open space with a ballroom ahead of you
Okay.
on
All right. So then,
a
so she
structure.
probably okay. So she wouldn't have her owl with her since she's indoors. She has her hood down then since she is inside. Um, when her hood is down, she has very long, deep black hair. It's so deep and dark that it almost looks purple in certain tints of light. Her skin is pretty pale as well. There's nothing else noticeable about her. Oh, besides that, she does wear all the way up her arms these long black gloves. So my character probably already has a glass of wine in her hand. Um, so when the man approaches her, she always already sees from afar this man approaching her. She takes a sip of her wine. Probably for a split second, she has this, oh gods, here we go again, look on her face. But once the man approaches her, she puts on a smile. Right now, her eyes do have a red, or slightly red on the edges of her eyes. But other than that, she did dress herself up and compose herself very well to be here. She stands up, does her greeting, and says with a very big smile on her face, "Oh, thank you so much. Please don't worry about me, and we all just move forward for the best of the world and for the best of Aeonce. We always move forward. That's exactly what my husband would want. Thank you." And she kind of does like a sidestep to try to move away from the conversation and from the man.
The fact that you said something to him, he like scurries away. He's just like, oh god, she talked. I didn't want to stop it. Like,
Oh,
he
okay.
had
So
enough. He had enough nerve to say my condolences, and then freaked out.
okay, well, the second the guy stepped away, she downs the glass and she goes, "If another, am I allowed to cuss on here, or am I not allowed to cuss?"
Just go for
I
it.
want to hear Jennifer
Yes, your character.
I kind of just want to hear Jennifer cuss because I never get
Sorry,
to.
I know we're streaming, so I was like, wait, I don't know. Okay, so she downs her glass.
You're
And
allowed
she,
to be in character.
okay, so she downs her glass and she goes, "If another fucking person comes up to me and says my condolences, I am not in, can be held accountable for my next actions." And then she looks around and tries to find another glass of wine.
Well, here it comes. Another middle-aged,
I like
another
her already.
middle-aged human man approaches you, wearing
Mm-mm.
his kind guard dress garbs, the oh so familiar flash of long blue cloth with white sheets that come across the desk at an angle, steps to your side, and in your peripheral vision, you think you see him one last time, but quickly recognize the face to be his best friend, Jetso Yanham. As your eyes dart over, come now, Quintetta, it's a party. His jet black hair falls to the front of his face, and he leans over to hand
I
you
think
the glass of
someone's.
wine you were searching for.
Sorry, I think someone's breathing in the mic.
That was me.
Always
Sorry.
possible.
No, sorry,
everybody
Jennifer.
breathes.
It's
That'll be
always
good.
It's always me. Okay.
Stop breathing.
That's what Frank said last night. It was very rude.
always.
Uh-oh, I lost audio.
He kind of leans over to hand
Um,
you your next glass of wine, and as he does, he pours a little of his own wine into the water behind you. And some for you, Terracus. May the creators be with you.
she holds up her glass and she goes, "Oh, I'm glad you're here. You can keep the rest of these people back from me." And she goes, "And you can do all the talking. You just let me just stand here."
With pleasure. We'll make it through. It's just nice to see you finally get out for a change.
I don't really understand why I got the invite. Terracus was always the one who would come to these and always be the one talking and enjoying it, and I'm always the one in the background. But I decided I might as well accept it. One less for him, and she tips her glass up to the sky. I'll go to the party, one for him. And then she
Speaking.
downs the glass.
What's your constitution?
Let me
You
look.
can check this by looking at your character sheet.
Yes, hold on. I have it pulled up.
Marcus just asked me how to make a skill check, and since then he has rolled nothing but ones. Yes,
My
four ones.
constitution is a 2, Drew.
Okay, so you can handle 2 drinks before you have to start rolling. You just
Okay.
finished your second drink.
Okay.
My constitution's 7.
Ooh.
What did you say?
My constitution is 7.
Well, no, that's not how that works. On your, on your character sheet, where's your character sheet?
Mine's a 2-2.
How am I missing your character? 2-2, 2-2-2. We got a bunch of ballerinas in here. So now that it's open, right? So I'm talking about the modifier. Your value is 16, so your Constitution modifier is a 3. So Marcus, you can handle 3 drinks before you start having to roll against inebriation.
Sure. Well, I lost the ability to view chat. Oh
What?
boy. I know.
Oh goodness.
On the top
Wait,
right, there are 3 lines. Click on that, and that might bring it back. The other thing that sometimes happens is you like double click and like pop out the window. So there could be another window open. That's the chat. You might just need.
I did that, but then I closed the window and then I lost chat altogether.
Oh yeah.
Refresh the page. Yeah, that's the only way to get it back.
I just exited and reopened it because when I refresh, things crashed.
Well,
Oh.
if that happens, like you pop out the chat box and close it, it just loses chat. It's,
Mhm.
I just accidentally the
but I
chat.
just want to point out that the rolls for Marcus there was a 1 in 160,000 chance of happening. Him rolling 4 2s in a row. You know.
2s in a row. You need to go to you
So
need to
you're
go to
saying I need to
craps
go play the
table.
lottery?
Very wild luck right there. Those are your first
Oh Lord.
rolls in the campaign. All of them. All
Oh,
4
no,
of
the
them.
very first roll was a history check, and
Um.
I got a 14-17.
Oh, you're right. Oh, okay. Well, your second and third roll. So Clyron, or not Clyron, Quintetta, Jetso says, "Oh, speaking of parties, this one is for those heroes," and he kind of points. That's her over there. And Jetso, you can following his fingers, you see across the way. If it wasn't for her, a lot more than just your husband would have died that day. She's the time arbiter. She tipped him. She's the one that tipped him that the zombies were going to attack. He gave his life to save those 3. Jutsu says this, but you can see his fist like clench up. And following his hand, you see he's pointing at Nairobi. And standing next to him, or standing next to her, is Arden and Castiel, who seems to be intermixing and talking with the rest of the party.
Um, I Quintenza kind of like tightens her lips, just looks down at her empty glass and almost like she wishes not to make a comment on what he just said, and just gives him a kind half smile as he speaks, and looks intently across the crowd at the 3 standing there.
It's about that time. Shortly after, you just kind of lose a minute. Just kind of glaring or staring. I don't know which one you're doing. At Nairumi there, but you hear a very familiar voice come from your side. Is that Quintetta Rainfield? You
Oh
hear the
my
deep,
god.
optimistic, ringing voice of Midas come from behind you, and you know him as both
I look to the side. What's his name? Sorry, I forget his name.
Midas.
No, Midas is
Midas.
my Terracus's friend.
More so than just the friend, Midas is the headmaster of your Hero Academy school. He runs the whole thing.
Oh, okay. No, what's the guy standing next to me?
Oh, Jetso is standing
Jetso.
next to you.
Okay, I look at Jetso. My eyes kind of go a little wide for a second. So,
He kind of
okay.
looks pretty like he's used to helping and talking for you, but seeing Midas approach, he kind of looks a little overwhelmed. But you just hear, "Is that Quintella Rainfield?" So you know him as both the hero of Aeonce that saved the kind from Nagan Shi, but more importantly and more intimately, as the president of the Hero Academy. His radiance is blinding at first as you turn to see him, and closely behind him is an elf woman. For a moment, I was wondering if you were ever going to show up. He kind of gets closer. Yes, you were
Is
the
that
one
elf
following
woman
Midas
me?
right now.
Well, Midas, I think maybe about the 10th
Okay.
invite, I kind of got a clue that I needed to be here.
There was something I needed to say. Oh, I'm so sorry. I could not be there at your graduation ceremony. I
Oh
did
my
see your
god.
performance on. I did see your performance on the final, though. That was a mean fight with the dragon.
Uh, Thank you, thank you.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yes.
Can I insight check her?
What are you? Let's see. Where are we?
Because I don't really like it.
Well, the 17's pretty good. With your body language and just your overall emotional set in the situation. What can Quintetta? Or I'm sorry. What can Clarence tell about how Quintetta's feeling right now?
Quintetta does respect Midas very much. Obviously, he's the president of her academy. She respects him. She has had conversations in the past. Conversations in the past probably a lot different from her conversations right now. Right now, she might seem indifferent, more so just because she doesn't really want to talk to anybody in this moment. She doesn't really want to socialize. She doesn't want to put on the smile. She doesn't want the thank yous. So she does actually respect this man in front of her, but she just doesn't want to be here.
And so with that, Midas says, "Oh right, I am really sorry to hear about your husband. I'm really sorry about your husband. But Kine will have a hard time finding someone to fill his boots." But like a second goes by in reading this scenario, Midas quickly changes the subject. Hey, look, Quintetta, a Clyron! And he points at you. That's not something you see every
What?
day.
Um,
I
Midas says this as if you should know exactly what he's talking about. So go ahead, Quintetta, make a history check for me.
okay.
Look, a Clyron.
That's not
The
something you
train
see
solar
every day.
tracks.
Okay, so Clyron with a 15, knowing that Quintetta is a studied individual studying at the Hero Academy to learn magic
Mhm.
and expertise of a sort. What would she recall about the name Clyron?
Well, Clarion as a first name doesn't have as much standing as their middle and last name, Vifox Hild, which alludes to the Vifox Hild Library and Collection, which is a massive library and collection that has its own pocket dimension and is run entirely by the same family of women with all the same name.
With all this thing, all the way up to the first.
All and the first is still alive. Yes, the first to the seventh are still alive, but they don't
The
usually
original.
leave the library.
Okay, so would I know that
Yes, you would know they don't ever leave the
No, you would
library,
not.
and that is exactly why Midas goes, look at Clyron, you don't see that every day.
okay, so okay, that makes more sense now. Okay. So my eyes probably go big for a second, and I look at you, and then you can see me like almost like fumble in my actions, like not quite sure how to like greet you, and then I just
Fine.
settle with a just a tip a very small bow and well nice to meet you.
um, Pleasure's all mine. I don't know who this is. I look at
Where are my
Midas and say
manners?
that very blatantly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's so exciting. All of this. Oh my gosh. This is Quintetta Rainfield. She's one of the newest graduates from my academy.
Oh,
And
pleasure.
Quintetta, this is Clyron Vifox Hild, the seventh version 1.
7 version.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He definitely leans into you and mouths like, I don't know what it means either.
I give a giggle. Well, Clyde, I'm so glad to meet you, and I'm glad that you're here. I don't know how you got stuck with this dude, but I'm glad you're here. My dude, I mean, I'm pointing to Midas or Midicus.
Yeah, I sort of mouth, help me. But, yeah, I don't say it out
Well,
loud.
I like her.
speaking of which, I'm so glad you asked. You didn't really ask, but I can tell you're asking. You should follow me, Quintetta. I'll introduce you
No.
to the heroes of Aeonce. He
Ugh.
begins marching towards where they have all gathered. And he kind of like turns mid stride and he's like, "What a night this is shaping up to be! I just love any time a bunch of powerful people come together. I can taste fate in the air tonight."
Have we met Midas before? Because I'm pretty sure we've not met. We've only met Jalbu, Lanami, Soj,
There
and
too when you met them. Yes, Midas is like the hero of Aeonce. He was the one that's actually slayed Nagan Shi.
right before Shiva started collecting us.
Right, but he's a little busier than the other heroes because he runs a school called the Hero Academy. So the other heroes around, say, Jabu, Soj, Lanami, they are actually still actively working as heroes.
But we know who
Midas,
Midas is.
yes, you are all familiar. If not, I mean, not personally. None of you are familiar personally, but you know the legend. You know of him and what he is. He's the hero that saved all of Aeonce by his sword. So, and you also would know that he runs the academy, so he is just dishing out more and more people with the ability to be heroes or do the job that he had to do all those years ago.
I think that's why I don't think he was a hero.
You're just ready to throw down, aren't you?
Name.
So, the two of you following him, he now heads into the ballroom and towards the other heroes. So, Naomi, you are following Arden and Castiel around, and at one point you get kind of closer to the bar.
Well,
Um,
Nairomi is kind of like preoccupied in thought. Normally, she's very capable of putting on a charismatic facade to make nice with people at parties like this, but if you're perceptive, you might notice that she's got another objective on her mind. So she's kind of looking for some of the guards that she might have known to be working at the prison where Rakran's at.
yeah, you can make a perception.
Okay.
You're looking around.
Oh, my character sheet's ginormous because I made it bigger so you can see the picture. You said perception?
Perception, please. You're just kind of looking around, and it's a pretty busy party. 27 will do. So yeah,
Woo!
there are a significantly less number of guards here than you would expect. Big party, lot of important people here. Prime target if anything was ever going to go wrong. No, this place is hardly any guards. Mostly there's just a bunch of servants. And any Justicars that you do see are either there because they're big members or named people, they're more of celebrating, or they're lackeys, squires to some of the other significant people, and are more of carrying out duties for them.
Yeah.
Hence the two that recover the thing for. So the party is pretty busy. You see a lot of people you would know. None of them have anything to do with the prison.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
it's
so
while you're looking pretty intently. Go ahead, sorry.
Nairomi's got her hackles up then at this point because she's never been able to attend a party at Kine that wasn't under attack. And the fact that there's like no guards present, I want to be like extra vigilant, but I'm following them.
So there are no guards, and it kind of occurs to you there wouldn't need to be guards. The
Well, I
number
know
of
that there's
powerful
heroes
individuals
present.
here, yeah, could do a lot more than any number of guards could.
Irregardless, she's
Any
still.
kind guard or just the guards. Yes, no, absolutely. It would probably put you, especially. Uh, not that Nairomi is paranoid, I don't think, but you've just like every
I
party you've been to, something bad has happened.
every party at Kine specifically too, where there was basically, I mean, Nagan she was here not long ago, and they had tried to do the zombie assault last we were here, and yeah, any party I've ever been to, it's not really been a party.
But, as you're looking around, you feel a gentle brush of your hair from behind you.
Ugh.
You turn, making that exact noise. Ah! You turn to see Jalbu, and his meager attempt to dress in a formal suit. You could see from last time he wore his entire armor set to the to the party, but this time he's attempted. He has a deep purple, finely pressed cloth dress suit with a white, fluffy undershirt. It looks like it pains him to be so exposed and not in his armor. Very much like you're kind of on edge because you're at a party and you're not like, you don't know what's going to happen. He's at the party and not wearing his full gear that he always has. He feels so exposed.
Nairobi would
He
love
said,
to. Nairobi would love to keep it cool, but she can't prevent herself from just like having her face exposed and her feelings and just lights up when she notices it's him.
Lady Naomi Loftus, you look beautiful tonight. And Jabu leans and he kisses the top of your hand.
Duh. She like, yeah, she's she's gobstruck. She doesn't know what to say other than nice shirt. Why are you here?
It's a party. Should I go?
No, I just didn't think this was your kind of scene.
Well, no, but here we are. Shall we dance? He
Yes.
kind of looks over at the dance, like the crowd that's dancing, second guessing the fact that he even said that
Yeah,
because
because
he's realizing very quickly he doesn't know any of the dances
well,
that the people are doing.
she said yes so fast that it didn't matter. He couldn't back out now.
So, still gripping your hands, he spins you onto the dance floor, and the orchestra is mid-song playing an upbeat partner dance. Most of the room seems to know there's a specific footwork to the music. Jabu has no idea what they are.
Do
It
I
doesn't seem
know?
like you do either.
Oh, I thought I would get to roll for it.
We'll find out. Make a performance check.
Okay.
Or performing with disadvantage. Jabu rolled horrifically.
Oh.
Look at you, a 20, 21.
Yeah.
So you are doing your best to drag him into what he's supposed to do.
No, I know the dance moves, but I see that he's struggling with it, so I just start doing a different fun dance.
Just breaking from the mold.
Yeah.
And so the two of you are kind of just doing a very basic shuffle in ballroom form on the floor, and it seems to smooth out after a few steps, and he kind of gets into the flow of what you're attempting and begins to lead you in the dance. Regardless, Jabu places one of his hands on the side of your face, and once again brushing your hair over your shoulders into one side. But you notice that this is not just a simple gesture. He's not just trying to be cute. When his fingers connect with the side of your head, suddenly everything else in the room fades. You recognize this is usually his capacity of telepathy or manipulation of the brain, and very quickly, as I said, everyone fades away. It's just you and him. And he looks at you and he says, um, I just wanted you to see how I feel when I'm with you.
Yeah.
And you know, he kind of quickly looks a bit stern. You know, I'm always with you wherever, if you're ever in trouble. Please tell me what is bothering you so much. I mean, I know, and you could tell when he says that, like, he's already read your thoughts. He knows. But why? Why don't you trust the Oracle? Why does Aracrin have the white sphere? What is it you are planning?
I mean, if you can see out everything that's in my mind, wouldn't you already know? I don't know how this works. Is it safe to talk here? Where am I?
You jump quickly, like, puts a finger to his lips, and you recognize you can hear him in your thoughts. Like, he was talking in your head the whole time, and then you just, like, start
Blurted
blurting
that out
out
loud.
out loud. Just think.
Okay, so I'm just thinking about what the Camelisk said. How giving Shiva all the spheres would become the end of Aeonce as we know it, because the creators, like the Camelisk has said, would rewrite the world again. And I don't want to lose Jalbu, and I don't want to lose any of my family or any of the people that I've come to care about.
Is that enough? You're jeopardizing so much because you love a few people?
What am I jeopardizing? I think. Instead of
You
saying.
don't have to say that. This is all in your head. I understand.
You'll need to clarify.
Yeah. Um, jeopardizing. If this isn't successful, Aeonce ends. This could be the calamity where, if it's not done right, we all go away anyway. How do you know that there's any other way than Shiva's?
Well, if Shiva rewrites it, it's the end of it anyway. You have two different endings: the end of the world as we know it that gets rewritten and washed away and remade, or there's a chance that we can try to make a better world, reset the balance. And
You have some
I
ways to go. I hope you have a better answer by then. Because you might be onto something, but you need more. You need proof. You need to understand this better. But until then, we can't risk. If the world's about to end, Shiva can stop it.
she wouldn't
But
stop it
I
though. The
hear,
world
I
would
get
end
what you
with
mean.
Shiva. It's just picking your ending. And I want to pick a
So,
beginning.
Well, well, why again does Aracrin have the white creator sphere?
Uh, Aracrin
Do you know?
was taken captive by Nagan Shi, and his soul was removed from his body, and he was put into a homunculus that looked like the old Aracrin, but it was assembled from many different parts. And uh, I promised Aracrin that I would help his soul be reunited with his body, and I guess that tricky fool found a way to do it himself, where he even tricked the Camelisk into not only one but two spheres. And so Aracrin, as part of the wish, I guess he sent the white creator sphere back to his body, which was able to put his soul that was trapped in the homunculus, which died or became a tree when he made the wish. But yeah, it's reunited with his body, and part of the only reason that I came back to Kine, because I kind of really am uncomfortable here, was to find Rakrin and the White Creator Sphere, because he can't hold on to it. He's actually, I don't know if the White Creator Sphere is killing him even as we speak.
Oh, that's very likely. Do you know where he is now? He's no longer in the jail.
Can I incite him to see like why he's so interested? Like, I mean,
You could try.
I get the normal reason, but I don't know his intention, but behind trying to find the White Creator Sphere.
You can try, yeah.
And I'm
Yes.
rolling
So
good tonight.
that is a good roll. But looking at Jiao Bu, he looks like he is just having a good time dancing with you. Not an emotion on his face.
Well, he's got me trapped
Related
in
to
a
the
brain spell
conversation.
anyway, so.
The conversation is not being said, it's in your head. So yes. Well, you can maybe read into some of the way that you're hearing him say it. Jiabu is just he likes to have all the variables together. He likes to understand everything in motion. And he doesn't understand this yet. And so he seems to be gathering information.
Yeah.
Well, he's not in the jail anymore. They checked his cell a few days ago and he was missing.
Oh no.
Well, to make things more complicated, Shiva was the wielder of the White Creator Sphere. She will pursue the sphere with the full force of the Justicars. Arakron might have the White Sphere in his possession, but it will not be long before they get it back. Either the sphere consumes him, or he runs out of places to hide. I just hope that when that time comes, none of this will be traced back to you.
Yeah, I understand going against Shiva puts us in a very difficult position. To be
Well,
on the
if it
run
does,
from she who sees all is a difficult. I can't even wrap my head around how to do this. I just know that we have to try, and maybe the fact that I have experience from other tangent timelines will help me come to the right decision that will work so that we don't have to reset the world. We don't have to end the world. We can find a new beginning. But
however
if
these pieces come falling together, you will need a plan and allies, big ones.
you're my ally, aren't you?
I'm at your side, Nairumi, but we all have our places and our roles to play.
I just I wonder if you can help me solve one of the problems I've been pondering. We can't keep the creator spheres ourselves. We're not powerful enough to keep the spheres from consuming us. Do you know a safe place to keep them if we can't keep them with Shiva?
Well, which Shiva would be the safest place, or I suppose if not with her, I could work on a few things, but I suppose with me, with Midas, with I don't know how connected you are to the Archmages.
Can Midas be trusted?
Dude, I don't think there's a soul less trustable than Midas. I mean, I think some people trust him more than they even trust the Oracle.
I see. I just wasn't sure since, his academy is known for making Justicars, how connected he was
No,
to the
no.
Oracle.
Well, the Academy does not make
Oh, I thought he was the
Justicars.
head of the Justicars. I thought that's what you told me last time.
No, that's Bossler.
Oh,
Midas is the same as you, just another guy who was picked up by the hero or by the Order and said, "Save us! It is your duty." He is the same as you, a hero of Aeonce.
okay. uh,
So
and then who are the
I'm
other people he mentioned? The Archmages?
the Archmages. He's just naming people of power.
Do I know
So
them? Can
there's
I roll for that?
Nagan Shi
Well, yeah.
is the
He's the bad.
Archmage
He's the bad one.
of necromancy. Corvus is the Archmage of transmutation, and Marzam is the Archmage of divination.
More like Archmage of Chaos. Can't trust Marzam. Yeah, we can maybe
Well,
talk to Corvus,
I
but
have all three of these for you guys.
even Corvus,
They're so
I'm
good.
not sure what he would do
It's a lot of
if he had
stuff.
spears.
Oh.
Yeah, Clyron probably, and you other guys probably wouldn't know who these guys are. Maybe you've heard of. I mean,
They're
everybody's
all
heard of
respectively
Nagan
right now.
Shi.
Lyra knows a lot.
Oh, okay.
Everybody, yeah. I mean, these guys aren't secrets. The Archmages are who designed and created and organized the spell that people use today. They took it from the chaotic magic that was just evident around in the air, all around us, and organized it in a way that could be controlled. So the archmages have been around for a long time, and their schools have been around for a long time, and it was their job to disseminate this information so that Aeonce could control magic effectively, or it too would consume them. So, yes, they are known of, but not many know them personally. You have met all three of those people. Maybe not so much as friends, but you have met all three of them. Not at the same time. All at different times. Jabu shakes his head and he says, "I'm sorry." He says this out loud. "I did not mean to ruin the moment with work." He smiles and the room floods with people once again. He says out loud, "I'm happy you are safe and back in the city. Oh, did you see your parents and uncle are here?"
What? No. Where are they? I thought my uncle was still. And then I stopped saying anything. Where?
You he kind of does a little side smirk. "You should go see them, but don't go too far though. You are mine tonight." Gabu dips you,
I
and
turned
brings his face an inch from yours,
beet red.
and then and then and then he falls to the shadows below, and you reappear next to your parents.
Oh. I take a moment to orient myself. Do I fall over? That
Arden.
was trippy.
Oh, sorry. What do you say?
I said I take a moment to reorient myself. Do I fall over? Because that was trippy and I wasn't expecting it. Hello?
If you're still talking,
Yeah,
move
you're
on.
dropping
Take
out.
a second to
Hello?
figure it out. Arden.
I turned into a robot.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, you try it again.
Beep boop.
Right now, yes.
Okay, never mind. Go
Try it
ahead.
now.
Move.
So Arden,
Yeah.
you stick out. So you and Nairumi kind of spins away with a dance, and Madame Myers just kind of been standing there amongst the three of you, kind of chatting it up, drinking if you guys have been. She's been there at your side, so far at this party, and she finally gets a smile and kind of nudges you, and she's just like, "You stick out like a dragon at a petting zoo. You tried. Look at all these people looking down on you." Oh. And she just kind of laughs. And while she says this, you can see across from the room, kind of up on a balcony, another version of yourself. A little baggier dressed, not as scarred, probably not as built, over time. You're more of, you use your muscles quite often. This one's a little more slinky, more lanky. Rather than just pure muscle. He says, "You brought them 1/6 of creation, and they still think of you as just a weapon to aim at the next cause." Turan scoffs from a perch on top of one of the balconies overlooking the ballroom. He is at least 50 feet from you, but you can still hear him over the noisy party. What is all this chatter going on? Oh, I see.
Okay, only I would have heard that.
Only you hear Turan speak.
Right.
He is 50 feet from you, and you still hear him like he's right next to you. He leaps off the balcony into a flip, landing perfectly. He fake dances with some of the people on the floor. He grabs a butt or two and then laughs. "You don't know these uppity types anything. Blow this party and run for it. I know a few good places places to hide in kind." And then very quickly, you see Roger in your peripheral. He's just, "Yeah, that's it. Run from the order. Just like you ran from May and Salon Von Diesel." So this version of yourself kind of growls as he says this, and Brutonine seat against the back wall. So dim to run. If I could swing one of Arden's axes, I'd split you in half. He wants to fix whatever this is. The shared soul. He thinks this path will lead to freedom. Don't you? Roger kind of looks up at you, his brow buried with anger.
But can I talk to them inside my head without speaking out loud? I
Uh,
think I can.
you, you think you can, yeah.
Okay. Well, then I will think to both of them. I guess. Can I talk to them both at the same time, or
Yes.
think to them
From
both?
what
Okay.
you might understand how this works is they perceive the same things you do. The same thoughts that you have. These thoughts that you hear them saying might as well have been your own thoughts.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense then, or more sense. So they're like my subconsciouses.
They are your subconsciouses.
Okay. So then I will think to myself and them. As of now, this is uh, the only lead I have to figure out exactly what this means for me and any more of me's that there are. I don't know exactly what I'm going to, but curious enough to find out. And everything I'm not really going into this too hard. It just sort of all fell into my lap. So we'll see how much that does continuing forward. But yeah, you guys don't have to worry about this.
Worry about it. We're stuck here. What else can we do but worry? One way or the other, you're gonna fuck this up.
What? Any more than you did? Both of you?
This guy just shakes his head and just like pouts a little to the side. It just as you think that you hear, what was that? Madame Mitmeyers kind of like nearly chokes on a glass of wine and spins to face you. She seems smiles a bit nervously.
Oh, what?
She, Part of that you might have said out loud, and so
Uh,
she looks at you very confused. Like, did you just say something?
oh, no, sorry. I thought I recognized the song. I can't remember what its name is.
Gives you one of these side glances, and she goes, "Yeah, I always hated these things too. It's like on stage, I expect people to be looking at me. When I run that ring, I crave their attention, but here, at parties, I just never know what they are expecting." She curls a strand of hair in her left hand. Should we give them a show? She kind of smile triples as she looks at you. Yes, you've noticed, like, since you've been at this party, even though there's a lot of important figures here, there's definitely a lot of eyes that are, like, constantly looking at you, and definitely a lot of eyes looking at Madame Mintmeyer. I mean, Madame Mintmeyer is a bit of a celebrity. Her circus has traveled all over Aeonce. She's probably put on a number of shows in kind. She's definitely attracting a lot of attention, but it's a kind of attention like when she looks at somebody and notices they looked at her, like they look away. It's just been weird, and so she's been pretty uneasy about all of it. So she just kind of looks at you like, well, if they're looking anyway, let's give them a show.
Hmm. Well, what do you have in mind? I don't think we should make too big of a scene. I mean,
No,
this is
let's
an
give them
evening.
something really to talk about. Let's go as big as we can. Her smiles just get wilder and wilder. Uh, and so with that, she will kick over a chair step onto one of the tables in like one of those side things and start dancing. It's a little to like her own beat, not quite following the music that is happening. And when she starts to dance, it is something else. It's not quite like the dance people are doing. There's a bit of flair to it, a bit of magic that moves with it. She kicks her feet and twirls her dress. It's a lot more. She just gives you this other look and just come on, get up here. The people are
Yeah,
definitely
I'll
giving some space now.
yeah, I'd like look around and
People are
almost
very
blush.
confused.
I don't know if it would go through, but yeah, I guess we're doing this then.
So go ahead, give me a performance. With advantage, she's going to perform with you. Oh, 16. It starts off like you're figuring out how you're supposed to do this. With her, you've not performed with Madame Mitmeyer yet, and she does more of a bit of a dance routine. And you kind of get in there dancing at first, that you very quickly figure out that's not what she was looking for. She wants you to perform. And so as she kind of does a spin around your back, unhinges some of the axes and tosses them in the air over your head.
Oh, now we're talking.
Very quickly, yes, you jump into action as you are now starting to juggle. So the people have definitely given you space as now axes are flying through the air. And so you go into your routine with the three axes juggling very quickly. Um, the music, the performance that was going on, music just like comes to an abrupt stop and then begins a much quicker pace, like a circus like music, or everybody's kind of getting this, and now you have a lot of attention as you begin your juggle routine, and Madame Mitmeyer is kind of dancing in this big semicircle, getting everybody else involved and kind of like hyping up the situation. After about a few minutes of you juggling, Madame Mitmeyer leaps off the table, kind of moves into the center, spins, and then unleashes a whip from under her dress. She cracks the whip on the ground near your feet on the table, forcing you to kind of sidestep out of the way. And she does this a few times until finally she snags one of your axes out of the air with her whip. And in the same fluid motion of pulling the axe to herself, she tosses a chair into the mix instead. Yeah, a few times of this, and you find yourself juggling a few chairs as the orchestra continues to roar on with an upbeat music, and people are now cheering and having fun with it. And in the midst of this performance, this dancing, out of the corner of your eye, you catch Tehran arguing with somebody that you can't see. And on the other side, you see Roger just kind of shakes his head. Well, at least you were having fun. You hear a Siger sounds so disappointed. As you throw yet another chair into the air, you suddenly replace the party scene with the warm humidity of of Marso Forest. Something is going on with the relic zealots. They have cleaned up their camp and turned the abomination around. You can see his face, and he looks a bit concerned. You see what he sees as he turns his head. Sure enough, the unit of 20 relic zealots has marched southward, 6 of which are chanting some ritual. That one there said their priority is back home, and that they have fulfilled their end of the bargain. Siger points out one of the relic zealots leading the march. He is dressed in an excessive amount of bones and parchments with runes written all along them. As you look closer, you can see that aspects of him are more animal-like than elf.
Hmm. Oh, who was that last one?
I never asked their name. They don't really say much
Oh,
other than an elven. Siger, just thinking what you're thinking as he points. It's just another one of the relics that seems to be the leader of this unit. And as you're thinking that, a sudden boom shakes the surrounding area as the abomination, a combination of an entire building, a state of a house with crashing on top of it, or well, I'm sorry, not crashing currently, with parts of what looks like an airship crashed on top of this house, have all been somehow tangled and come to life with a mixture of vines and plants, all creating this somehow moving, living beast built out of this. Somebody saying something? Hello?
What?
Phelps Olympic record for butterfly.
Yeah. Sorry. You tell me
Oh,
this. 'Cause
you're fine. I thought somebody was trying to say something. This is the abomination that the relic zealots have been controlling all along. You finally see it again as it takes its first steps towards the south. Tiger looks back at you. If they aren't going to help, I'm not sure what your options are with Shijan Danji. Just the cars left weeks ago, and now these guys? There's no army against theirs. And with that, Saiger will quickly climb on top of the hill his tent was built into and peers through a looking glass. And from there you can see the clock tower in the center of the city and the walls, which have mostly been rebuilt. There are a number of trenches dug around the city and multiple checkpoints of spiked walls placed along the road. You can make out excessive numbers of guards making the walls and trenches and the road. Go ahead and make a perception for me, Arden.
Yeah.
As you kind of take the position of Saiger, now you're looking through the glass with him. Dang! Nice! So with a closer look, a good portion of these are both undead, but a very large number of these guards are actually illusions. They're fake. So it looks like this place is just armed to the teeth. But most of those guards you are sure are just illusions. They're like going through routine checks, but you just see like a number of them are making the exact same motions all at the same time and stuff. So very quickly it's telling you, something's up with this. I mean, it's still pretty heavily defended, but not as much as it would appear at first. And as you're looking at this, you just hear, "Poor May." Roger, he looks furious, and just jumps off a tree and fades into nothing.
Hmm.
I don't know what you want me to do, Arden, but I think I'm just gonna head back to the Kingdom of Mariso.
Well, that seems like I don't know. I guess that's all you really can do now. I don't know. I'll let the others know.
Yeah, please do. I wanted to be here to help you. I don't think Talon Von Diesel should keep that town, but we can't fight them. Not with just me and the few Marso soldiers I have with me.
Right.
So as
Well,
he says this, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna. I'll let them know if I get any more info from my end.
Okay. Please keep me up to date. If you do want to fight, you can find me in the Kingdom of Mars. So I'll be waiting. Maybe I can get the king to send a few more soldiers that way. As he says this, your vision sweeps back to the party, and you find at this point you're juggling 3 chairs instead of axes, and the people are all cheering and laughing. But you can catch a worried look from Madame Mittmeyer. She quickly snaps back to action, claps real loudly, and says, "Thank you, everyone. Happy we could get this party started." Madame Mittmeyer bows and then quickly runs over to give you a hug after you've finished putting all 3 chairs back safely on the ground. She just kind of gives you another smile. Good. So maybe now everyone will stop looking.
Yeah. Hopefully they get all their looking done.
Got all the looking out of the way.
Hmm.
So she'll go over and grab another drink and start sipping on that.
Well, while she does that, Can I look? Is who? Oh, Castiel. Do I see Castiel anywhere?
Yeah, he's probably not too many groups. Well, during your performance, he probably had to step to the side and just watched with the rest of you. I don't know, Castiel, were you trying to do something, or were you just enjoying the performance? As probably anybody you would have been talking to would have been watching the performance.
Castiel is outwardly shaking his head in disapproval and inwardly actually kind of enjoying this.
Oh man. So
So
you're nearby still, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
so when she leaves, I would look around and spotting Castiel, I would walk over and let him know what I just found out
You
about
tell him that.
Shion Danji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Castiel, if you heard, he passes along that Saiger is leaving because the relic zealots are retreating, taking the abomination back to Beiji. So that leaves nobody left to fight the battle at Shijandanji against Salanva Diesel.
I'll, I'll let the order know. This is something we should try and do our best to help out. These poor people at Shijon Danji have gone through enough.
Right. I literally just found out now. I figured you'd be the most relevant one to talk to, so I came to you first.
No, Castiel,
I should probably also.
sorry.
Well,
Finish what you're saying, Paya. I'm sorry. You paused and I thought you were done. What
Oh,
were you saying?
I also should probably go find Naomi if you see her anywhere.
she was close by.
You saw her both, like she was suddenly swept by Jabu, danced a little, and then disappeared into the shadows.
Right. Yeah. So,
That's how that
well,
happens usually.
I'll look for her and enjoy the party. You earned it. I'll pat him on the back and then walk around.
Madam Midmeyer grabs you by arm again and grabs some drinks, and you guys just kind of find your own space. If you guys want, yeah, you can make a perception check. It's not too far from you. You could spot quite a bit around the party, but my roomie didn't go far. She's just in another one of those breakaway nooks. The lounge is on the side with people that kind of look like her. Standing next to them is Arden. You met her uncle Nikolai. He's there,
Yeah.
and with him is his clockwork soldier. Big old robot gears and stuff standing next to him. So, but she's not too far from this. The Castiel, after Arden steps away, you hear a kind of a deep voice demanding and respect, and his tone is kind of very serious. He says, Hero Castiel, son of Zuriel and Layla. Or Layla, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Layla. You turn to the mention of your name and face a stout, brown-haired, military-cut celestial that stands a full head taller than yourself. Here, I will post him now in case you haven't seen. Oops. This is Bossler. Does everybody see that? Did it show up?
Yeah.
So, yeah, stands a whole head taller. He's wearing his formal white military suit with strands and fine details of each color representing the creators sewn into it. The collection of 6 stars in a halo, 1 star for each color for all 6 creators, sewn into the chest plate of his military suit, meant you were addressing the top general and leader of the Justicars, Bossler. He holds out his hand to shake you, or for you to shake.
Castiel takes his hand and gives him a salute.
So the salute would most likely be the Creator's Prayer. Same ones the priest had done earlier. Hands to the side, bring it together, kind of making an eye at the chest and then bowing. You exceed your station and bring pride to the Justicars. It is a pleasure to finally meet you. He waves his hand, and another drink is brought to it by a servant. I was briefed on your protection of Shidan Danji, before that time anomaly, or during that time anomaly, more legendary acts like that, and you'll be appointed a holy knight in no time.
By the will of the creators. Unfortunately, I just had some news on that front. Jiangdanji is again in grave danger.
Yes, it was for Azazel to take care of. You know Azazel, don't you? I think the two of you graduated together.
Very well, sir.
Yes, his unit and probably the whole Maraso faction, or they were all taken to the Dark Halls. He had a lead on the fire giants. I'm hoping he's been successful. I haven't seen or heard from him since he left. It was about a month ago, I suppose.
About that, we were the ones who gave him that tip.
Yes, thank you for that. It seems that you guys have had a very busy time since Shijan Danji.
It seems never-ending chaos.
Oh, every bit of chaos needs a Justicar like you. And so, with this conversation, him saying that you could become a holy knight, now you would know of the rankings and the stations in the Justicars that a holy knights are among the most powerful Justicars in the order. They protect highly valuable officials like King Striker, Bossler, and Varkanen, the Archbishop of the Church. Even Shiva is surrounded by units of holy knights. While they are powerful, they hold absolutely no rank in the Justicars. You technically outrank a holy knight right now, but have only a fraction of their strength, as you are now.
Okay.
Oh, before Bossler can respond, again, another Celestial nudges into your side and clinks his flask to your glass of wine. I'm glad I found you. You instantly recognize the voice of an old mentor, Thuriel. You look like shit. You must be doing something right. His big hand pats you on your shoulder. He throws back more of his flask. General Bossler. Thuriel bows before him. I sure know how to pick 'em, don't I? Oh, Sorio. I see you found time to make it to an event. Bossler holds his face very still. Oh, apologies, General. I was just gathering Castiel here for his parents. Sorio forcibly turns Castiel away from Bossler and begins directing you through the crowd. If you can, describe Sariel. What does he look like?
Oh man. So I haven't really thought of Sariel's appearance. We'll say he's a little shorter than Castiel. Um, his skin kind of shines a little more like silvery than Castiel's gold. Um, hair is worn a little longer, um, pale golden color, and his halo is a little less ornate than Castiel's, showing probably a little lower birth, but Sariel is very much a celestial that Castiel respects and nearly reveres because he was kind of the one that pulled Castiel away from his former decadent life.
He definitely regards himself as your mentor, and definitely had a hand throughout your training, and kind of giving you tips and tricks on how to make it through. He's put a lot of chips in your end, so he regards you quite highly as well. And as he's now pushing you through the crowd, and under his breath, he's just like, "Oh, congratulations on making hero. Title like that usually takes years of service. Well, you look like you spent decades out there already, though. You doing okay?"
Much better now. It feels like I've been out there for decades.
Well, we should have a chat sometime, but something tells me you're gonna be busy tonight. By the barracks before you leave Kine. For now, your father has something he wants to show you. Sariel tugs on your shoulder and he continues to push you through the crowd and he moves you in the direction of one of the side rooms. Interesting idea. Um, so Sariel, as he's kind of pushing you, you now see your family, and Sariel again, kind of whispers, not necessarily under his breath, but definitely as you guys are moving, he's sure that nobody else is listening or could hear him talk. He says, "Interesting idea. Storing Roman at your parents' estate? Not much chance the cult of entropy will be able to infiltrate St. Asplin."
No, that would make it as difficult as possible for them to find Roman.
Well, Tux, I hate to be the person to tell you this, but the cult of entropy is a group of crazed tieflings. They're hell-bent on resurrecting their demigod. They think Roman could be Decimir?
There's some involvement there. I thought I had helped them exorcise a demon at one point. Fought a terrible battle that destroyed the temple at Shijiandongji. There may be some connection still, but I'm not sure. And neither is the order.
Well, this is part of a negotiation. I guess Shiva was able to work it out with Roman that as long as he stayed with people that you knew, he'd agree to it. So I hope that goes well, but this is all so wild. So it's at that point as he gets you over there. As you head your way, you can see both your mother and father standing alongside a few other Celestials. They all seem to be having a great time, deep in conversation. Your father is trying his best party story, one that you've probably heard over and over and over again as you walk up. Um, Go ahead. Is there anything you could describe about your parents or your family? What they might look like?
So both of Castiel's parents look very much like him, pale gold skin, platinum hair. Might find a bit of a contingency there amongst noble families and Celestials that they tend to marry within and have children with Celestials who look much like them. It's a point of pride to have lineages that have um, attractive features that they see it as. So mother is quite short, 5'out", 5'4", long platinum hair, pale gold skin. Um, dad is a little taller than Castiel. He stands about 6'4". Um, again, keeps his hair shorter, not quite a military crop cut, but keeps it cut short. And again, has that pale gold skin.
I'm so glad you said all of those words. Those were very important words. Irony that you have no idea what I'm about to say in a few minutes. Um, as they see you, Suriel says, "I'll give you some time. Don't forget to come see me." He pats you again and kind of pushes you closer. And with that, there's the man of the hour. Your father, Suriel, brings you into a hug, and your mother piles on before he can let go. "We knew you always had it in you," she adds. The two take a step back. Have anything to say to your parents?
It's wonderful to see you again. It feels like it's been years.
Hasn't been that long. Has it? Has it? Your mom's kind of like looks at your dad. How long has it been since you graduated? Do you recall?
Actually
I mean,
graduated just like a couple of years ago. Really just been on his first assignment in Shijiandongji.
mhm. It was
So
definitely your first assignment, and they put you out in the middle of nowhere, Donji, a little village, and things went very wrong. But
very
thank goodness they had you. Oh man. So while it might have only been a few years, it feels like a very long time for you.
very long time.
Your father, from his hog, kind of turns you to face the people that he had been entertaining. You remember Joan and Triven from a few states over. We have always been privileged to share such pristine pastures with the Jones noble family. And you can tell your father is brown nosing. You know the Joan estate is far less noble than your own.
Yes, of
You,
course.
you must remember young Lilith. My, how she has blossomed. Each of them, Joan, uh, Triven, and Lilith, now show their respects. Joan shares the Creator's Prayer, while Triven and Lilith kind of curtsy. They wear a light red and mauve color fabric with silver trim, and Lilith is dressed in an elegant mauve and red ball gown. Her hair is pulled into a bun, the best it can, with strands of curly red spilling out over her shoulders. She blushes with a small doe nose smile. You knew Lilith as a teenager, but she was just another face amongst the rest of the young Celestials at school. She was below your station then, so you never really paid her much attention, if any, really. Here, I have a. Where's that at? Here we go. Did that show? There's a Lilith for y'all.
I still see cosplay.
So
Yeah, I
she
don't see
kind of
Lilith either.
what? I said show. Okay, all players. Did that one show now?
Yeah,
It
just
should
popped
be in
up.
your journal
Yeah,
now.
I see it now.
There we go.
She,
I see some chick.
as she curtsies, well, that's all she is. She's just some chick. Wonderful to see you again, Castiel. She beams.
Pleasure is mine, Lilith.
Your dad kind of clears his throat. Well, we have arranged for Lilith to be your betrothed. Your father says this, if showing Lilith like the prize you won in a game show. It's about time, don't you think? He kind of nudges your side.
That it's a wonderful surprise, and I don't know if how soon we can act on that betrothal, though. The order has me busier than ever.
I knew you'd say something like that. He's so dutiful. He just kind of like he's talking to Joan right now. I have squared it away with your superiors. They understand that this will not interfere with your position as a hero of Aeonce. Zuriel pulls you away as a step and whispers in your ear. You are our only son, the only heir to our family. What you are doing is very dangerous. We can't risk losing you and the family line. Lilith is a fine girl who seems ready to bear children. Have a son, it'll change everything.
So you would use me as stud. This is not what I expected to hear from you my first time back.
Been a busy time, Castiel. Don't be so. I know. I'm sorry to spring this on you, but you're just away for so long, and now this. We didn't think you would be throwing yourself into mortal danger. Not like this. You were just a village in Maraso. You know
By the
how important
creator's
this
will.
is. Yes, all of this is the Creator's will, of course. You know how important this is to us.
I know, and I don't want to seem like that selfish son who first left you, but you must understand what's at stake here, more than our family. I will do
No,
my best to get to know Lilith, but I cannot
he kind of
guarantee anything.
gives you that look. You can definitely tell he has no idea what's at stake. He's just like, what? Why? Why throw yourself into? You were already doing so much as a Justicar. What more do they need from you? Why?
Because someone must.
Oh, I guess if anybody, it should be you, shouldn't it? My, you've grown. We are very proud of you, Castiel. I don't really have all the details, but we can make this work. Just don't die. Please don't die.
Castiel kind of just looks off to the side there.
All the times that you've died.
By the
Oh,
creator's will.
so he turns to you, and the two of you reapproach the three of them, Joan, Shriven, and Lilith, and she's still blushing from your response. We are going to jump back over to my man Marcus. Mr. Tweeb had just reached another figure and is kind of pulling at his like coattail. And as you approach behind him, he turns to you and says, "What'd I say? I told you I knew a guy." Tweeb flicks at the pant leg of the tall tabaxi beastman. He's a very feline cat-like humanoid. The panther skinned man turns and sees you long before he notices Mr. Firkledude. Hey,
I'm
Gansy,
sorry.
down here,
Did you just say Mr. Frickledoot?
Mr. Firkledude. That's
Did
that's
That's
Tweeb.
the dude I was with.
did
Yeah.
He's
Jake
part of the Lotus.
did Jake get to name this character or did you? I feel like
That's
this
all
would be
Drew.
a
That was
Jake
not
thing
me.
to
Leave him
do.
alone.
Never mind.
He's
Carry
a
on.
very rich man in the Golden Lotus Merchant Guild. Okay, he's actually the head of the guild here in Kine. So you better recognize Mr. Firkledude. You
With
know
a
this
name
guy.
like Frickledoot, the guy had to probably work really hard to get where he's at.
It's like
He's
a boy
worked
named
about half as he's worked about half as hard as anybody because he's half the size. That's what he says. Hey, Gansy, down here, it's Tweeb. The gnome gives a few extra hard tugs on the panther's pants before he finally looks down after looking at you, and a fanged grin comes over Gansy, and as he quickly grabs Tweeb's hand with both of his own. Mr. Firkle, dude, this is a pleasure. A very pleasant surprise. Oh, so nice to make the acquaintance of Kind's Golden Lotus head chairman. You want to talk about business or pleasure? Oh, calm your purr. Tweeb shies away with an evil, with an eye roll. Mr. Gansy Minaj, I'd like you to meet one of the new hires, Marcus Rockford. What? The third, right? He's the third?
Third.
Ah, okay. Gansy plucks his hands back from Tweeb, looks you over, and then holds out a hand.
Well, hello. I shake his hand politely.
Politely. So, so you're the chump they got picking up a new commission. You got balls, kid. Make sure they pay you well. You can see as soon as Mr. Gansy starts talking about that, Mr. Tweeb is like visually sweating now. He chuckles nervously to say something, but Gansy keeps talking. Not just anyone would be willing to replace the operators in the Lorong Trading Company. Could you imagine the backlash? But alas, someone has to do it. Can't have those crooks running the largest network of trade through all of Aeonce, can we? Kind of look into you if you have anything to say.
Nope, I'm just here because my father asked me to be.
Oh? You hear about something else?
Yeah, Took, come over here.
Tuck just stomp. And he's over there. Although he is stomping because he's just big, Took is definitely taking very paying close attention to where he steps and is very gentle about it, I suppose. Making sure to not step on anybody's foot or wrinkle the carpet as he passes. He's just careful as he moves towards you. And he stands there next to you looking happy that he made it or followed your direction. My, look at that. You don't see something like that every day. What's it made of?
It's something that I came across over the years. But I was told that you've seen these runes before.
Mr. Farkledude is teaching you right. Cut out the middleman if you can. No need to visit the shops on gilded streets. Yes, anyone with connections to Mr. Farkledude can come by my warehouse in the Western Docks. I have all manner of ancient relics of the sort. I suppose that's what you're looking for, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd love to take a look at your wares. What time can I meet you? Can we go tonight or?
Tonight's the party. What's the rush? You can come see me first thing in the morning. You want 4th District and you're looking for any age relics warehouse. Gainsey leans back against the wall and sips his wine as he's kind of giving you the direction. So first thing in the morning, and as he says that, Tweeb is very quickly just like, it will have to be after the interview. Tweeb clicks his heels. Golden Lotus first thing in the morning. Then all kind is yours. You can go see Mr. Gainsley afterwards. And Mr. Gainsley just starts purring. He's like, what's your thing, kid? Why are you looking to buy old shit?
I have a fascination in the old world, the old history.
He is eyeing you very suspiciously. He doesn't believe anything you're saying. Okay, I can respect that. You got spirit, kid, but I won't get in your way. Come by my warehouse, and I'm sure you'll find something worth your time. For the right price, of course.
Okay.
And so he mentioned by the docks, 4th District, you're looking for any age relics. The name of his warehouse. He says you can see him after you visit the Golden Lotus for the interview in the morning. So as he finishes, what's that?
Nothing. I said the interview that I want to skip.
Oh, the interview you want to skip. Well, I mean, you can still skip it if you want, but Tweeb says you gotta go. And then
Who cares about Freckle Dupe or Duke or whatever?
Nobody cares about Freckle Dupe. So, Nairobi,
Yep.
you are now with you just appeared with your parents. And they go ahead, sorry.
She is like, first of all, I don't think Jiaobu realized just how shocked she was that he said that they were there, because to Nairomi it's been like maybe 7 years or something since she got to see her family, but to them it hasn't been as long. So.
No, it doesn't. It's been maybe 8 months since they've seen you.
So she's like, every other thing of importance is kind of washed away right now, and she's just like, I don't know. She never thought she would really get to see her family again, and it's been so long, so she's just beaming.
And in your like awestruckness, you suddenly swept up. My Nairomi, how much you have grown. And only in a few months, your mother, Jasper, sweeps you into a huge hug as soon as she realizes you were standing there, which took a second because you suddenly appeared. She's wearing a firm-fitting and exposing teal dress with a slit that runs thigh-high. Your hair, her hair is up to one side and braided down the other, very much like how you would wear it a lot of the times, and how she braided your hair growing up. She plops a big wet kiss on the side of your face.
I don't know what to say. I'm like taken over by emotions. I just go, Mom. Like, give her a really big hug.
And so she's kind of like spitting you in the air, and beside her, You can see your father, a smile forming, bows into the creator prayer. He is wearing just as nice an outfit as you always in, his official Loftus nobility suit, a pointed teal cap, and half-length teal cloak.
Yep.
You have done our name very proud, fit to be a hero of Aeonce. He kind of chuckles to himself. I now see what all that silliness you talked about as a child meant. Father Sid explained you're a time arbiter? What an honor.
Oh,
He's like taken aback. They didn't know this whole time.
it's complicated, but not anymore.
Is that is that a bad thing? Are you okay?
That statement makes sense.
I'm okay. Yeah, it's been quite a journey, but it's good to see you're exactly as I left you.
Every day. That's what it's about. So, accompanied with your father, you notice his second wife, Tilly, and your half brother and half sister, Nebuchadnezzar Jr. and Harmony. The two are dressed formally, and Tilly, his second wife, is your age, and your twin half siblings are only 12.
Ew!
And
What?
what? Yep, both of your
What do you mean?
siblings
Yep.
nearly tackle you over into a hug.
I squeeze them so tight. I try very carefully, like keep my hands away from them because I don't want to hurt them. So I'm like hugging them with my elbows.
Your broken hands,
Yeah.
spooky hands. Yeah, they don't pay any attention. They don't even know. So they're just like in on you in a big hug. But before any of them can get a word of congratulations in, the three of you, you and your half siblings, are all lifted into the air by a clockwork soldier and a hearty laugh from your uncle. You really followed through with it. How marvelous. Have you done something? You have done something no mortal has ever accomplished. Nikolai instructs the clockwork soldier to put you down and then pulls you into another hug. He goes to speak again, but is interrupted by a trio of trumpets blasting from the top of the arch balcony overlooking the ballroom. Everyone's attention is drawn to the instruments, and beside them, clearing his throat, is King Stricker III. Welcome, esteemed guests, friends, and family. Tonight, the court recognizes a number of individuals who have accomplished an amazing feat. Nikolai pats you on the side. This is for you. I'll get back to you.
We have so much to talk about, so don't go far, I whisper back.
Mm-hmm. And back to King Strickler, he continues. They have shown extraordinary heroics, bravery, and honor in the face of incomprehensible danger. These heroes of Aeonce have made our world a far safer, and they deserve our deepest gratitude. I want to first recognize Jiaobu, Lanami, and Soj for the impeccable investigation and talent in removing Nagon Shi's Phyllocries. None of us will ever forget the scars Nagon Shi has left on this land, but it brings us hope knowing his means of return continue to be eliminated. King Stricker raises a glass and everyone follows suit. To our most beloved heroes, he cheers, and everyone cheers along with him, with the toast. You just hear ting 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 around the room as everybody cheers, big huzzah, and then they all take their drink. And tonight, the court also recognizes a number of our new faces, the heroes of Aeonce who were only appointed just a few months ago. Naomi Loftus, Hero Castiel, Arden Axfling, Rava, Zheng Ying, and Roman. Their efforts have helped the Order secure a powerful advantage in protecting the future of all of Aeonce. We are all in your debt. King Stricker raises his glass again. Unfortunately, not all the heroes made it back. We shall honor Zheng and Roman's memory. They will be recorded and forever cherished in the halls of heroes. As for the rest of you heroes, the new heroes have impressed us so much, we would like to reward you all formally. Heroes of Aeonce, each of you have been granted permanent housing within the halls of heroes. This palace is now your home, just as much as it is for many of us. Kind of waves his hand around, motioning to most of the nobility amongst the crowd. Many of the people who do call the kingdom their or not just the kingdom, but the palace their home. In addition, to show my gratitude, I'm rewarding each of you with the seal of the king. All who see the sigil within kind know the prestige it carries. I'm sure the boon you gain from the social status this brings with it will be reward enough. King Stricker cheers once more, and everyone follows suit. Ting, 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 ting. All the glasses, and everybody huzzah! And they take another big drink. Heroes, please come forward to receive your seals. To everyone else, enjoy the rest of your evening. King Stricker performs the creator's bow, and the music starts again. So, Nikolai's still next to you. He kind of says, we'll talk. Go get your reward. I won't go far. There's plenty to be said. And he kind of looks around like he definitely has some secrets to tell you. So Nairobi, Arden, Castiel, you are all being beckoned to come to the center of the ballroom to meet King Sticker. As he's moving that way with a number of servants behind him, each carrying one of the seals to give you guys. You guys all move to the center.
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah,
I
I'll
will.
give Lilith a nod and go over the center.
I give Jiaobu a parting glance.
He's up against one of the walls. There's definitely a number of people around him, but he is definitely not even paying attention to the conversation. Just kind of gives you a nod.
I give Madam Hitmeyer a parting glance.
She's had a few drinks at this point. She's just kind of real big smiles. Heroes, as I said, kind thanks you for all you may have gone through to succeed in your mission. To this, I reward each of you with the King's Seal. When I name you, step forward. Nairobi. When he says this, your name, one of the lackeys kind of steps to meet you and dons a medal over your head. King Stricker continues down the list of names until each of you have a medal.
I sort
The
of
medal dangles.
I eye
What?
the
Go
medal
ahead.
suspiciously as it's placed on me.
You guys are always suspicious of medals.
The medal that I was given last time had a tracker in it. Can I notice anything with perception?
Yeah, if you want to make an arcane or investigation.
Arcane.
The medal dangles from a fine dark leather band woven intricately with a white and blue silk. The medal itself is a golden circle with a human silhouette reaching to the sky and sun rays beaming down on them. It doesn't seem to contain any magical properties. As you wear it and you look it over,
Okay.
doesn't seem like it's anything more than a medal.
Okay.
So after he gives each of you, the three of you, medals, and he kind of looks. I also have a medal for Brisk and Rava. King Sticker looks around. My intel suggests they had a hand in your overall success. I want to recognize them as well.
Do we know what happened with Brisk and Robin?
No.
What do you mean no? I thought we parted. You talked about how we parted ways, or did you?
I don't think it was ever.
Nairobi knows. Nairobi might know something.
Oh,
But
what
since
do I
the
know?
airship, yes, you might know. No, you don't know anything about Rava yet, or about Brisk.
Well,
Since
we
you
know
guys
they
returned
left
and went to
us.
Kine, yes. So since you guys got to Kine off the airship, and you met with Shiva to give her the green creator sphere, as you all got ready for your party, the three of you came to the party, and those two did not. Roman did not either. In fact, King Stickler just honored Roman's memory as if it was his intel that Roman is now dead. Which
Castiel
is
bows.
also news to you. Except for Castiel. He just had a conversation with Sariel. You bow.
Yeah, I just say, my apologies, my liege. I do not know the whereabouts of Brisk and Rava currently.
Nairumi or Arden, do you have anything to say?
I'm kind of just like internalizing what I just realized about Roman. So no, she doesn't say anything.
Nope. I shrug.
Well, and it's at that point, King Stickler is definitely just like looking at the three, like he's like ready to give these medals, and just like now he's just sitting there silly with 2 extra medals.
Um,
And then
I
suddenly,
can take a medal in memory of Roman.
oh, that won't be necessary, Nairobi. Allow me, Your Majesty. Midas performs the creator's prayers as he has now approached approached the rest of you, and behind him are 2 women standing there. Some adjustments have been made, but I will see to it that the rest of the heroes of Aeonce receive their rewards. Don't you worry. King Stricker kind of stands up and faces
Insight check.
Sir Midas. What?
Insight
Did you say
check.
insight check? Yeah, go for it. Sir Midas, I think we can have that arranged. King Stricker looks back to the 3 of you and smiles. Please enjoy your time here in Kine. All praise be to the creators. So an insight check on Midas.
Well, on whoever said that they would make sure that that
Midas
the
said that,
heroes
yeah,
would
that
get.
was
Oh,
Midas
okay. I
saying
didn't
that.
know that was Midas. I thought
Yeah,
that was okay.
that was Midas that was talking. He seems pretty honest about those words. He's gonna take the medals and give it to Brisk and Rava.
Okay. The way he said it, like I'll make sure they get what they deserve, was a little off-putting.
Well,
What they
Midas is
deserve is a medal.
Midas. Yeah, yeah. Midas is a little always very optimistic and forward. He doesn't beat around the bush with things. So. Heroes of Aeonce, it's so good to see you again. I have the pleasure, I'm not gonna mess this up this time, of introducing 2 very special ladies. Midas kind of steps to the side so that you can see past him. You see Quintetta and Clyren. From the Viafox library, I present Clyren Viafox Hild the 7th, version 1.
Before you
Correct.
introduce Quintessa, she's looking over her shoulder, looking around. She's
So
looking
this
around
is
at us.
everybody's kind of like gone back to partying, but you guys are about the middle-ish of the ballroom. But so as of right now, Midas is just introduced to the 3 of you. This is Clyren Viafox Hild the 7th, version 1.
Correct. Pleasure to meet you all. I've been very anxious to meet you. I sort of do
Castiel
this.
gives a bow.
And Nairobi does a curtsy and says, I mean the Viafox library, the knowledge you must have. Oh, I have so many questions for you. And you might get like a little bombarded by questions later. You feel that this might be a a sentence to annoyance for you.
I'm incredibly perceptive, so I can sense that pretty immediately. Well, before that, I have plenty of questions for you, but I'll get on with the uh, introductions
Introductions,
as
yes,
they're
yes,
stepping
yes. This
aside.
is and from my own neck of the woods, the hero graduates Quintetta Rainfield.
Before you introduced her, Quintetta was looking around thinking, that somebody else was. You said two women, so she thinks it's somebody else, not her, because it's just her. So, so when you say her name, her eyes go wide. She puts her hand on her heart, like, "Oh me." Um,
Yeah, you.
A graduate
um,
under Midas must be exceptional. Cassio bows.
um,
Oh, sorry.
so Quintenta, just kind of looks down at her glass. She kind of looks like she has a thought of, I want another drink. And then looks at the heroes and formally bows to them and says, it's an honor to meet you guys. And thank you. Midas has been such a great leader and everything. It's an honor to meet you guys.
This is Nairobi Loftus, Arden Axling, and Hero Castillo. Midas kind of smirks. Surprise! You're the 5 new heroes of Aeonce! He kind of like does jazz
I'm
hands.
I'm sorry.
Well, okay,
Excuse you?
I can't make it official. Only the Oracle can do that. But if you're all gonna work together, you might as well be, right? Yeah.
Um,
I suppose. Uh, I'm looking at Quintella.
I don't remember citing this when I got married to Terracus. Like, if he passed away, I became a hero of Aeonce. I don't remember this in my vows. So, I don't understand what's going on.
It is as the
This is-
creators will.
Oh,
This is
interesting.
nothing.
I don't remember having met you before, so this is an interesting turn of time. New
I don't know what
allies.
that means. Nairobi, you say some weird things.
Oh, yeah.
Quintetta goes, what?
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm
She
looking
says things
forward
like
to
that.
us collaborating together. She tries to make a recovery, but doesn't. Probably fails.
Midas is just like, so I'm gonna let you guys get to know one another. Briefing on the next mission is first thing in the morning. You all have rooms in the Hall of Heroes now. Oh well, okay, not you, Claren and Quintetta. You don't have rooms yet, but the you three do. So I expect to see you there. And that's where
Business,
you'll take over,
business first,
Midas.
Midas. I noticed that there's
That's
a lack of guards here tonight, and I understand that there's some, powerful heroes among us. However, if
beats its
there are
chest when
this
you
many
say that.
people of importance here, will there be extra guards posted this evening? Should I speak with,
Would you need a spell of alarm on your room?
No, it's my family being here
I don't mind putting one down.
Well, can you put one down
Do you
around
want a spell of alarm on their room?
I'm talking about a city-wide level of defense. But I
How would a
appreciate
Oh,
few
it.
I
extra
can't do anything
guards
about
be
that.
reaching?
Do you want them to? Do you want them to stay like with you? They can stay in your room if you want that.
It's not for me.
No, like
Quintetta squints her eyes looking at you like, what do you know is happening?
Nairobi, is there another thing we need to know about? Like last time you said this shit, things went down. Midas is suddenly very alarmed. Like, why are
Yeah.
you nervous?
You should be nervous. I'm
No.
nervous.
I think we'll be okay tonight. But yes, we'll make sure your family's safe. They all got here safely. The Dark Hand, there, we've got them running all over. Tails turned. I think tonight will be. You could relax and party.
Well,
But
I'd like to
tomorrow,
at least be briefed on the situation here in Kine and whether there are still known members of Naganshi's forces that have been around the city.
no, we have vetted the Dark Hand. Or I'm sorry, the Order, the Justicars through and through. I mean, we are fairly certain we caught every double agent. This is about the safest place you could be in the rest of Aeonce. You go
Mhm.
too far from the kingdom, I'm sure it's a little fuzzy and hazy, but you know, we're we feel good about the city's defenses and safety at this point. We know,
Give it
we
a couple of
know.
years.
Oh man, okay.
Sorry, continue.
We 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 know we're at war now, so we're not surprised again. But like I said, briefings tomorrow, and that's where you'll take over. And Midas kind of gives Clyron finger guns while stepping away, and he almost immediately is
I
like back
stare
in
at the finger
conversation with
guns
other
and
people.
I
You
don't
what?
understand finger guns. I don't understand finger guns, so I don't know what he's doing.
Pointing at
Nairobi
you
cocks her head at the
vigorously.
expression taking over, wondering if Clyron's just been appointed their new leader.
You guys are all there now, standing in a
Uh,
circle. You guys can talk.
Quintetta looks over her shoulder, trying to find Jetso, and like points to her glass.
Yeah,
Castiel
um,
seeing
sees her do
Clyde
that and
doesn't
he
really
just
know how
waves
to deal
down
with
and
being on
attend
the spot.
What
Castiel
was
just
that?
lifts his hand, and
No,
suddenly a servant is there.
yeah.
And each of you can have another glass of wine if you'd like.
Oh, Quintenta immediately
That's fine, no,
goes to
thank
the
you.
servant and is very polite. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You didn't have to rush over here. You have so much to do. I'm so sorry.
Just keep
Thank you so
walking
much.
away.
But what did my character know some of the servants?
Oh no! This is not these ones in particular. These ones are
Oh.
serving King Stricker, and in the kind. Most of the servants that you would know. And speaking of which, now that he has just flagged over a servant for you, the motion almost strikes you right back into a memory. You recognize Castiel. You know him from somewhere, and you remember you served one of the families that he would visit on often with parties. He was much younger then, and not as polite as he is now.
I look
Castiel, you have never seen Quintetta in your life.
I look at Castiel and I go, wait, wait.
Yes.
Oh, for all the love of everything.
Is something wrong?
No, just carry on with your godly self. Oh my God.
Can I do an insight check on her?
I need a drink.
Yes. Well, you just grabbed a drink from a servant, so.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Castiel.
Well, she's no more unusual than most of the heroes.
Yes, Byron, you may do an
Oh,
insight check
she's
if you'd
you.
like.
Okay, cool.
Arden, you've
Sorry, I
just
didn't
been
have it up yet.
faced with two other people, and Midas said these are your new teammates. You got anything?
Where's Marcus during all this?
He
Yeah,
is
good
talking
question.
to a
Going to the
very.
tavern and some Mountain Dew.
What'd you
Okay.
say?
I'm asking for
Okay,
the Mountain
so
Dew.
I rolled a 23.
Yes, Marcus is just finished his conversation with a very extravagant panther tabaxi, and finally has nobody to talk to, and Tuck is just beeping at him because he's getting a little claustrophobic with all the people.
I'm assuming
Doing
that Tuck is very noticeable, or Took.
so he's not the only machinery in the room. However, he is very
No.
unique. Everything else is clockwork. He's the only thing that's made of very older looking materials. So yes, He is very noticeable. With your
Also over 7
23,
feet, right?
most of the steel defenders are pretty big, and there are some tall people. Arden, how big are you?
6'6".
You only 6 foot? Oh, 6'6".
6'6".
6.5".
Yeah.
I'm so tiny.
You are very tiny. Yes. There are
You can run on some
Midas is pretty
shoulders,
big
man.
too. But so Jennifer, what does Clyron see into your maniacal laughter with a 23?
Quinteta's finding a lot of irony in the situation right now of somebody who she once upon a time used to be a servant for families up in the Kingdom of Kine, and I guess Castiel.
Sanctasplin.
What?
Not kind, Sanctasplin.
Oh,
Sanctasplin is the heavens. It's an entire continent that floats above kind.
yeah. Sorry.
I'm guessing I wouldn't get like all of that. I'd probably get just like you probably know Castiel.
Oh, yes, I know
Bring the
Castiel.
awkwardness of it.
Um,
Some the emotions behind. What are you feeling? What does it look like you're
um,
feeling or
there's
seeing
a
him?
lot of mixed emotions. I guess she understands that he's good, but once again, like she doesn't quite like respect him as much as like most people do. And then he made that comment about her being delusional. She's now
I didn't
more
say anything
laughing,
about
going,
delusional. I said unusual.
"Oh,
No
unusual."
more unusual
Oh,
than
Unusual.
the other
Oh,
heroes.
I
But
heard
no, you are
delusional.
delusional.
Rude.
You are delusional. It's all right.
Rude.
But
So anyway,
you'd also remember when Cassio was younger, he was a massive, massive dick.
so
What?
yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
So
So
you know him
she,
very differently.
Castiel
yes,
was a
Castiel's had
gigantic
a growth.
asshole as a child.
Yes, he's had
that's why
character
she's
development.
that's why she's laughing, because it's a lot of mixed feelings. Because she's like, oh, look at this mighty man right here, and then she's like, oh my gosh, I know who you are, and like, so she's like laughing just because of the irony, and she has very mixed feelings towards this guy, Castiel.
Clyron just looks at you knowingly.
Knowingly.
Quintetta probably just raises her eyebrows and like looks back at Castiel, looks back at her, like like this
So,
guy.
I nod.
Arden, did you have anything to say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bow my head and say, "Welcome aboard." Nothing.
This weird train.
You might be able to notice that Nairomi is kind of like jumping at the bit to pick Clyron's brain. But her attention's also, she keeps looking back at her family. Like, I kind of want to do this meeting and get to know you guys, but I haven't been able to see my family in a long time. Perhaps we can get to know
Clyron
each
can
other a little
totally
bit better
pick that
tonight
up because
during
her
our...
passive perception is high.
Clyron could tell you were obviously, or she's obviously bothering you and doesn't want to. Yeah.
Well, she's not bothering me, but
Do you need to go speak with somebody else?
no, this is more important.
Is
Anyway,
it?
Clyron, you said that you had questions for me. I have questions for you. What do you say we do a trade?
Perhaps
and you do
later.
question for
I believe that you have something else.
I mean, I agree with Clyde. As much as this is lovely, I'm going to go to be alone. Okay. Good night. I will. I don't know what else to say. Good night.
Wait, Quintetta.
Downs the glass.
It was good meeting you.
Just starts walking away.
So yeah, I mean, nothing has to happen now. You have been
Quintetta
told
wants to be
tomorrow
alone.
morning you're gonna do a briefing.
Yeah, but
She's
you
done.
know,
She's-
Okay, yeah.
Nairomi is always
She's done
thinking
putting on a smile.
time is of the essence, so she's got to get all her
She
questions
just bowed.
answered right away. But yeah,
You've done putting on a smile. Okay. So you walk away. You leaving the party altogether?
Oh, no. My character is just walking away from everybody else. You guys can keep talking. my character wants to leave and be alone.
Quite a short introduction.
Yeah, Jetso definitely can. He can see that you're kind of walking away. Can just get that sense you're done smiling, and see kind of after you get definitely out of earshot of the other circle. He's just like, did that just happen? Are you? What was that?
Uh, I don't know. Fuck it. I guess I'm a hero, or going to be a hero of Aeonce. I blame Terracus, but okay.
Of Beyonce? Or is this all the single ladies?
I said Aeonce.
I heard Beyonce.
Hey, little too soon for
That's the new group
Quintessa. Little
name of the
too
group.
soon.
All the
Jake,
single
little too
ladies.
soon to call her a single lady.
Oh,
Too soon.
ouch!
I'm glad somebody caught on to that.
Oh man. So Jetso's just like, hero. What? He's like slowly catching up. Wait, no, this is great, Quintetta. This is what you trained for. I mean, you graduated for this shit. Like,
You don't know anything, Jetso. You just don't know anything. I just want to go. I'll see you all tomorrow. And she just keeps walking.
okay. Well, you live in Kine, so if you keep walking, you can end up in your house for the night.
Yes.
I don't know if you find a place to something else quieter, needing your space, but I mean,
she's not gonna stay at the hotel that Midas, I guess, reserved for us.
No, I'm probably going to go back to my home.
that is
Especially if I know I'm not going to be staying.
Quintetta lives in Kine. You, Arden, and Castiel were given permanent homes in the Hall of Heroes. It's not a hotel; it is a home,
Oh,
like a suite in
like
the
the one we
palace.
had in Mars. Was that the name?
Marsto.
In Hasaka.
Osaka. Yeah.
The one in Hasaka was an entire estate. Like it had its own garden, and no, this is more big city living. Like you have part of a tower to yourself.
Oh.
But it's not like a big garden.
It's like a condo.
Fancy thing.
I see.
Yes, a condo in New York City.
Hello?
That was the sound of somebody disappearing.
Hello?
Hello? Sure.
We lost Jennifer.
Oh,
Oh.
that's fine. I think she had to step out for something, maybe. Oh,
There
there
she
you
is.
are. There she is.
Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Are we wrapping up, I'm guessing?
We are. So Quintetta, as she leaves, the rest of you, it sounds like Nairomi and Clyren are going to have a conversation. Castiel and Arden. Arden, you definitely, Madame Mittmeyer, who's now been drinking a little bit more. She comes back. She approaches you, and she's just like, "I used to live in Kine. Like, well, let's blow this party. I could take us to much better places. Let's go have fun." And Castiel, you catch a glimpse of Lilith, kind of off to the side. She catches your eye and kind of waves you over. So the party is wrapping up. A few more conversations to have, but that is our time. It being 11 o'clock. So yes, the web, the strings are being woven. We have many of you together now at this party. So a lot of
Except
things
Marcus.
happening. Yes, that web has been woven. You just don't know about it yet.
Ooh.
I've noticed the roles. I'm tempted to do this and touch Madame Empire.
You're what?
Neutralize protection from poison on Empire, but I won't do that.
Listen, you look a little much. Here you go. let me just top you off. Oh, that's funny. If it is poison, you are neutralized the poison.
Alcohol's poison.
It sure is. So 2 weeks from now will be our second session. I hope you guys had fun tonight. A lot of introductory stuff. Sorry, nobody got to throw a. I mean, Arden got to throw axes, but you didn't get to hit anybody.
There was one minor mistake on story. I was not present for the assault by Nagan Shiankai.
Yeah.
No, you were not. Did
I
somebody
was
say
not
that?
there. You did at the beginning when you point out to Quintetta. Those three
Yeah.
were here when you're. What's his face?
That's. Yeah, I didn't mean those three. I meant specifically that he was pointing out Nairomi as the time arbiter, but you as the heroes of Aeonce, he doesn't know. He doesn't know who they are specifically. He just knows that you guys are the heroes of Aeonce. So
Okay.
Jessel has lumped you all into one thing. Not that he knows your specific identities.
Okay. So Quintetta's just gonna straight up hate me for a while.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
She
Yeah.
has mixed feelings. It's
What would it
mixed
be if nobody hates somebody? No. There you go, Jake. A bunch of the ones, and then you rolled a crit, man. Got that 30.
What are
And on
you
a high note.
doing?
I'm just playing around with stuff at this point.
He's learning how it works.
Yeah, I am
Man, you
learning.
got a lot of things.
I
Well,
do.
I mean, I could definitely see you very easily, like, Tuck is walking, and, like, you're just like, oh, I need to make a quick little addition here or edit there. It's just like a work of art for you. You're constantly tinkering and improving here and there. So, with
Mhm.
that is our first session of
Alright.
Creators of Aeonce Season
Yay.
2.
Woo!
We did it.
Yay!
A lot of things already in the works, but you've only just met, so we'll see where this goes from here. In 2 weeks at 8 o'clock. Any final things? Any burning thoughts anybody needs to
So
share?
many. Too many to share. I'm so excited. There's too much that happened at one party and not enough time to go through all of it.
They're busy, aren't they? Like,
Oh my
gosh, can't get through a party in 2.5 hours.
Yeah. No. Hey, a party that doesn't last 2.5 hours is not a fun party to be at, so.
Well, I mean, we role played 2.5 hours of it, as like we played D&D for 2.5 hours. Not that the party
Yeah.
has only been happening for 2.5 hours.
I know,
But
I get it.
I mean, pretty much we played that in time, in real time. So I would say it's probably only been 2.5 hours of that party. Well, I guess the performance, Arden's performance would have lasted longer than my explanation of it. And everything in between.
But that would have been happening while everything else was happening, so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this was wonderful. I had fun. I hope you guys did too. Thanks, each of you, for joining in. And guess we'll call that a night.
Yay!
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody on Twitch. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, like he said, we'll be back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Wait, next Tuesday? Is it weekly or bi-weekly? I think I've already screwed up. Hello?
Hello?
Is it next Tuesday or the following Tuesday?
2 Tuesdays. It's still every other. It's every other Tuesday. Yeah, because we play a different campaign.
On Payat's campaign next Tuesday.
Yeah, Payat has an evil campaign, so we do that the opposite Tuesdays.
Okay. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Good night.
Bye.